Welcome to the Gibberpish podcast.
Well, we may not be streaming from LA, but we're here to talk Gibberpish, aren't we, Dom?
Yep, we are. We're here to talk about all the goings on, the hippins and the happenings at E3 over the past week.
Yeah, because we are recording this on Friday the 14th.
Yep.
And
we made the conscious decision to record after E3 because we weren't doing the same shit as we did the last time.
I can't remember what we did the last
We
time.
recorded the week before E3, then we came back 2 weeks after E3.
Yeah, we completely fucked that one up. So
we succumbed to the Gibberpish curse, but this time we were keen to avoid that.
This time we're going to try and make it better and just see what happens next.
Yeah.
Oh God, how is this going to fuck up?
I don't know. We've put another. This is only going to be 10 minutes thing.
Yeah, we're watching this one already.
Yeah. Botchamania.
Yeah, the plan is basically to go through each one of the major conferences and just pick out any highlights. The EA one, does anyone really care about EA right now with the whole loot box scandal that they're currently embroiled in with half of Europe?
I personally, in general, I couldn't give a fuck about EA, but they did post. Like I'm acting like the E3 is just a big fucking forum.
Yeah.
They did show off some Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, don't worry, Dom. This Star Wars game will be good. I know the last 12 have not been good.
I know,
but this one, maybe this will be the magic of KOTOR.
I genuinely can't think of the last time I enjoyed thoroughly a Star Wars game. Maybe since
I obsessively played Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah, I'm thinking that might be the last one, but that was a real like lightning strike of a game because we've never had a good Battlefront game since. That was just
good mechanical.
Yeah, that
gameplay.
Was so fucking good, and it was the fact that it was Star Wars across the whole movie canon. You could play old school stormtroopers, the clone troopers. You could play all these different variations of the characters, and like you said, it was just good mechanical, good mechanics, good gameplay. Then you flash forward to the newer ones because I think there was a sequel to the new Battlefront.
Yeah, there was a Battlefront 2.
Yeah,
for the new generation. Yeah, not even a Pretender to the Throne. They kind of this is the brand of we make that joke now. It's past Game of Thrones spoilers. Yeah, it's the brand of the Star Wars Battlefront.
It's who we got. It's Battlefront the Broken.
It's the Battlefront the wheelie legs no feely.
Hot Wheels Battlefront.
But that'd actually be pretty good. I'd play that. So
dude, that'd be great. I'd play the shit out of that.
I am very unimpressed by EA's continuous kind of vomit of a usual, an NBA game, a FIFA game, a Madden game.
It's so bad. Do people even still play FIFA? I think if
gotta be someone.
I think if you go to any, video game shop or any sort of second-hand video game shop, the likes of Game or CX up and down the country or in any fucking country, you can get FIFA 15 to FIFA 20 or FIFA 21. It's probably up to now for under £10 because no one fucking plays them. Yeah. Might be different for Madden. I don't know about Madden.
I think the Madden community is really strong in the US. I know that for a fact. I can see streamers making that happen and making an interesting thing out of a very stop and start game. I think that could be done. It would build a community. I know there's competitions about it. Yeah, with some serious cash prizes.
You can maybe add a bit more strategy into the American football because there's maybe a bit more stoppage.
Yeah,
with UK.
There's going to be an audience for everything.
Fucking hell, could not speak. With our version of football, like Scottish football, English football, it's just one 90-minute stretch.
Yeah.
Or maybe a 100-minute stretch if you go into penalties or something. But there's not really enough opportunity to inject more strategy into the game. So
unless you include an option to take a dive.
Yeah, maybe.
Press X to dive.
Yeah.
Just smash your face against it and go, oh my god, he hit me, and then ref says,
you could emulate Scottish. You could emulate Scottish football to a T and just push L1, R1, L2, and R2 and hold down square and just incite a riot.
Yeah.
And just have people run onto the pitch. Have one weird fucker eating the grass at the Hibernian Stadium. That was the weirdest thing ever. I was in Edinburgh the day after Hibernian won the Scottish, or whatever it is, the Scottish Premier League.
Yeah.
It was the first time they'd won in about 80 plus years, probably more. I remember people saying it was 100 plus years, but I don't really care. I don't look into the history of...
You didn't fact check it, Dom.
I didn't fact check.
This is why people think we're fake news.
Fake news, no collusion. But I was in Edinburgh the day after they won the cup, and it was like a fucking battle scene. Remember the bit in Saving Private Ryan or any war film that came out in the early 2000s? You just see the flash of white and you hear the ringing, the tinnitus ringing,
and it
there's
just
some guy,
fades back into an absolute carnage.
and there's somebody walking about looking for an arm that just isn't there. There's a guy whistling on a dog that he knows in his heart of hearts just isn't there.
Yeah,
It was like that. There was people fucking on the streets, passed out drunk, and one of the people that I used to play rugby with, he showed me a video that he recorded of his mate just eating the grass, like shoving fistful, and just going, "This is the best day of my life." Eating grass, and it's just the best day of your life, huh?
So it's a pretty low bar.
That's a pretty fucking low bar, but yeah.
Back to E3.
Back to E3, yeah.
I almost got distracted. I'm not going to talk about it. I almost got distracted.
Jedi Fallen Order looks like this weird amalgamation of Devil May Cry type hack and slash gameplay and Uncharted world traversal.
Yeah.
So it looks just interesting enough that I might pick it up, but at the same time,
I think you'll pick it up at a discount.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll buy it day one.
That was literally the point I was going to make. I'm not going to buy it day one. I'm going to buy it maybe year 2, so I can get it for a tenner or something like that.
Yeah. My brother was relatively happy with the announcements about their Battlefield content, from the mainline Battlefield series. They have received a lot of flack from within that community. My brother's been updating me about it, saying it's been about 6 months, we've had nothing. And then all of a sudden, in the next 6 months, they're going to get about 8 maps.
Yeah, they're getting
plus a bunch of characters.
Isn't the next content pack set in Hawaii or something? It's set in a Pacific island.
It's the Pacific front. They're getting a big update for that one.
Looks spectacular.
Did you see the news that they had just before E3 that they had named one of their new German operators? They'd given him the name of a famous anti-fascist, like World War II anti-fascist freedom fighter. They named a fucking Nazi after the most anti-Nazi person on the planet.
Ooh, I can imagine.
Never Googled it.
Never Googled it.
They never checked it. They never fact checked the name.
Also, they just came up with a name and thought, yeah, let's give it to this guy.
Yeah, they're like, that sounds German. Bang, 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 bang. Send that in, and then nobody checked it until it came out, and then someone went, "Hey, I learned about that guy in history class. He's the least Nazi person possible. Yeah. You might want to change this."
Why is this Nazi general called Steve Rogers? This ain't right.
It was a good little oopsie moment for EA on top of the piles of other oopsie moments that they have.
The loot boxes and the grind for 100+ hours to unlock Darth fucking Vader in a Star Wars game.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Next one up I've got here is Google.
I didn't watch Google. I didn't even know they had a showing.
It's not really. They had an E3 thing. They just had a press conference about Stadia.
Oh yeah,
which is their streaming service, which is kind of a hard sell. But I can see the thing that got me initially when they announced this was that they would be doing 4K streaming of video games at 60 frames a second with no console involved.
Yeah, it's another little Chrome tab thing, isn't it?
Yeah, one of those little Chrome tabs. And I'm like,
a little Chrome ball sack to dangle off the back of your TV.
I have one of those. It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, pretty cool. When you just can't be bothered moving from the couch, pretty damn cool.
Yeah. I mean, I can definitely see the merit, but I just don't think that Stadia is going to deliver all that it's promised.
I see the phrase, we're going to deliver 60 frames per second 4K gaming, and think your marketing team thought of that before the engineering team could actually tell you if that's possible.
The engineers are sitting in the labs just going, oh wait, they already printed that? Fuck.
Oh, okay, I guess we're going to figure this one out. Oh, shit.
Boys, cancel lunch.
Cancel all the lunches. We have no time.
Send your kids to boarding school. Divorce your wife. You're never going to see them again. We need to work.
The boss did it again. What do you mean? Did he revolutionize? No, he made us die inside.
The boss is just sitting up there drawing with crayons and shit.
It was a hell of a promise, but it's strange that the more it comes across, the more people start looking into it, the more that it does actually seem capable. Maybe we're just very pessimistic.
Yeah, I think when I see it physically, when I see it running, that might shut me up.
I want to see it in my hands and just say, okay, you guys nailed it, because I really think they'll nail it.
A demo unit would be nice to see. Even just someone that, maybe a channel that I've been following for a while, because I imagine Rooster Teeth might be able to get their hands on something like that.
Yeah.
In a while, because they got HTC Vive quite quickly, if I remember right. They got VR. So I can imagine Rooster Teeth might, get their hands on it.
Any games company that can, get it out there and just say, look, have a go, have demo copies. I think it's the right way of doing things, because we've talked about this with my brothers, was rather than these big press conferences, because this year, throughout all this, we won't be talking really about Sony because Sony weren't there.
Yeah, but it doesn't stop the Sony fanboys just going, Sony are out there supporting us. Yeah, but they didn't go to E3 because they had nothing.
But some companies are now stepping away from big platform events like E3 and just giving stuff to influencers. I've seen more content for certain games coming out through YouTubers that I follow than through traditional media.
Yeah, it's particularly with a game that we're both looking forward to, Borderlands 3.
Yes.
And a bit of Borderlands 3 news later, which fucking made me more excited for the game. It's nothing gameplay wise. It's a bit of voice actor. So we'll talk about that maybe when we get on a bit, because that was in Microsoft's conference.
Speaking of Microsoft conference,
are we just going to jump into Microsoft?
The Microsoft, yeah, let's just go for it.
Because Google, I didn't even watch it. I didn't even know they had a conference.
I didn't know whether it included it. It's a big piece of gaming news. It will become relevant very fast.
I think it's something that people shouldn't really sleep on. I think they should be cognizant of Stadia.
Yeah,
because I think it could either be a huge fucking thing that people are going to love because it's getting a lot of support. Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, they kind of like have their own little. They like having their own little thing, so they'll jump in.
Yeah,
or maybe they will. I don't know. But a lot of companies are jumping in on it early, and that kind of says to me that maybe it's something worth looking at. Yeah. So keep an eye on Stadia.
I think they've got something, and if anyone's going to pull it off, would it not be Google?
Yeah, Google are close to owning most of the planet.
Yeah.
Or how much of an upset would it be if Disney just went, "You're getting too big. Come and join the mouse."
We love that little theory of just Disney just sees the things mouse and says, "I shall own it."
Yeah, I personally nowadays I used to see Mickey Mouse as just this kind of larger than life, bright light character. But now the more I've seen him purchase, he's kind of getting shriveled a little bit. He's got the hood up. He's turning more into the Emperor, just going, "Yes, I will buy this now." Yes. I wish to buy Microsoft. Do it.
So the Microsoft conference, I was predicting just some very basic kind of broad stuff. My main thing, which turned out to be completely true, was the push of Game Pass. Didn't predict how they were going to push that.
I didn't imagine that they would fucking go that hard on it. Yeah. And the way that they've done it is fucking amazing. I'll let you talk about it because you've probably got notes.
Microsoft's whole conference in general, you could use the phrase, "You didn't need to ball this hard."
Oh yeah.
They went balls to the wall on this one. You've undoubtedly seen the memes of Keanu Reeves appearing during the Cyberpunk 2077 reveal.
Yeah, I think every gamer that watched that conference didn't know they needed that, but they most definitely needed that.
Yes. I'm calling it. I think he was drunk. I think just like at least a couple of drinks in.
I'm pretty sure. I remember reading a story that was it came out right after John Wick 1 that Keanu Reeves is completely sober.
Huh.
Talking rehab.
Okay, right.
Like I said, I can't really remember it verbatim word for word, but I definitely remember reading a story recently that's just he has not drank in a while since. I'm talking after The Matrix.
Oh.
Because apparently The Matrix was just such a heavy thing. The drugs helped him get through it.
Yeah.
And apparently he's not touched a drop since then. And I could quite believe it because, I mean, it's Keanu Reeves. You see pictures of him walking through New York. In fact, if you were in New York, you could probably just walk through the streets and bump into Keanu Reeves if you wanted. He's too wholesome, I think.
Yeah. He's he's ascended to new meme tier status.
Yeah.
Especially with the "you're breathtaking" comment. That was pretty funny, I gotta say.
That guy got himself a free special edition of Cyberpunk 2077.
Note he passed it on to children's charity.
That is fucking good.
Because he changed his name on Twitter to blah blah blah, the "you're breathtaking" guy.
The guy, that's a long title.
Yeah, and
the guy that Keanu Reeves said was breathtaking at twitter.com.
And then Cyberpunk's or CD Projekt Red's Twitter handle reset and said, "Would you like a free copy?" He said, "No, I give it to like St. Jude's. So, like, I'm going to buy the game anyway. We're pre-order already."
Yeah, that's a pretty baller move.
Yeah, pretty nice. Well done. I like that. I like those little gamer moments. Like people forget that gamers give. We give a decent amount.
Oh yeah, I mean I've seen quite a few gamers and gaming sort of organisations do quite good for charities. I mean you only need to look at Awesome Games Done Quick and Summer Games Done Quick. They go to doctors with it. They raise millions of monies. Extra Life. They raise millions of pounds, millions of dollars for Doctors Without Frontiers and various other health charities.
Yeah. So my prediction was that Games Pass will receive a calendar's worth of content. Most definitely, yes.
Oh yeah.
We also saw trailers for Gears 5, but that was we knew that was happening because it's about damn time, and there was actually billboards of Gears 5 up in LA, so it just kind of like we knew it was coming. So that was the demo for that though when they dropped down
the escape.
Yeah, the escape setting.
Yeah, which I'm all for. I'm all for kind of scavenging your weapons. You've all got your abilities. I'm all for that kind of shit.
Yeah, the abilities one was strange because I saw the lightning knife.
Yeah, which is the guy that can just drop ammo boxes. I thought that was pretty cool. That kind of it's that kind of teamwork thing, because everyone's got their abilities. One person can just go in and deal damage, quickly clear a room. Another person can shields up. Another one can drop ammo boxes.
Yeah,
kind of dig that shit.
It's the hero shooter type thing has come to Gears, and if it's handled right, it works really well.
Yeah, unlike Bleeding Edge, which where was that announced?
That was Microsoft.
That was Microsoft. Yeah. I just think that game looks cool. Ninja Theory are probably going to do a good job visually of it, but I think it looks too much like Overwatch.
Slightly edgy Overwatch.
Yeah, slightly edgy, melee only Overwatch.
Melee only Overwatch, made by people who really like Borderlands.
Yeah, and who made the Ninja Gaiden series. So yeah.
My initial reaction when I heard Ninja Theory is going to present something in Microsoft was, yay, jiggle physics.
Yes.
We knew it was going to... I was somewhat disappointed by the trailer, I guess, then, in terms of jiggle physics.
But yeah, let's not go down that road, because that could be another weird podcast.
Yeah, but if you were talking about like that game, just too gimmicky. No.
I'm done with... I played Overwatch for... I think Overwatch has been out for 4 years, 2015, 2016, I think
if we googled it, we'd be scared.
2016.
Yeah.
No, in fact, I think I'm right in saying 2016, maybe early 2017. But I think it's been out for longer than I realised. I played it for maybe a month straight, just kind of going on, because I got really into the characters and I thought this is cool. But with more changes, I've realised that I'm not really into that kind of game anymore. So more of that kind of game and people riding the coattails of it, I think is going to be something that we're going to see more of. But I don't think the interest is going to be there. I think it's dwindling heavily. One thing,
if we're talking about like the trends in gaming, no battle royale,
which I'm fucking happy about.
Like, we got through it, guys. There was I don't think there was probably battle royale.
Fallout 76 battle royale.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
That was the only one that I seen. But then again, I wasn't looking for battle royale.
Yeah, but the thing is, you didn't see it like last year. If this, I would have expected a lot more battle royale based on the last couple of years. So we survived it, boys. Give yourself a pat on the back if you got that winner chicken dinner.
GG's in the chat. Yeah, we're finally through the zeitgeist that was battle royale. We're finally away from that bullshit.
We're going back to hero shooters, but okay, we can live with that one.
But if it's hero shooters that are set in the Gears universe, I'm happy with that, because Gears 4 was really, really, really good. I fucking loved it. It was exactly what you think it would be. Marcus Phoenix isn't really the main character anymore, but you play as what's his name? He gets called JD Phoenix, but his name is basically my name in reverse. My name is Dominic James. His name is James Dominic.
Alright.
Because Dom in what happened to Dom in Gears 3?
Yes.
So yeah, which was still a fucking gut punch moment, because I replayed Gears recently, and it's still that kind of gut punch moment of oh shit, they actually killed him.
Yeah.
Because no one's seen it come. The only time we kind of seen a bit of it was with Ty.
Yeah.
When he ends himself after getting captured by the Locust.
Yeah. That one, it happens so fast.
Yeah.
And you understand exactly what's going through his head. But at the same time, damn, it's a gut punch.
Yeah. And then there's the bit after it where Marcus just fucking bails out on the leader of the... They're basically the free people.
Yeah.
But he bails it and then I just lost my fucking brother. But Gears 4 is exactly what you expect to be. So Gears 5 looks like they've won everyone's trust back after Cliff left and they're not really working with the same group. Rod Ferguson, who was the kind of second to Cliff,
he was
Cliffy
the
B.
online manager.
He's now heading up the whole thing. He's got everyone's trust. I mean, he's got my trust with Gears 4. Gears 4 is great. Now I think they're kind of doing something completely different with Gears 5.
Yeah.
And I think it looks really, really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing how Kate's character develops.
Yeah, I haven't played 4, so I would need to be introduced to these characters to understand what's going on.
But she sets up a really interesting character arc with the end of Gears 4 that they're continuing with in this one. So I'm hoping that Gears 5 is going to do that little sliver from Gears 4 justice.
Yeah. The only question is the Pop Funko spin-off canon? It's all that matters.
Hopefully not.
It's going to be so hard to play that game and be like, with a straight face, say, this is a Gears of War product. I'm happy that this is a Gears of War product.
I think it's along the lines of just, here's a little cutesy spin-off that doesn't matter. That's for people who want to play some kind of facet of Gears of War on their mobile. Yeah.
When I saw it was a mobile, I thought, oh, there it is. There's that last nail in the I won't buy this coffin.
Yeah. The fact that they're making a sequel to it as well was just confusing, because I didn't think that many people bought that game initially to warrant a sequel.
Wait, There's a sequel?
Yeah,
I don't think it was out yet.
no, there was one that was already out, wasn't there?
Oh fucking Christ!
Or is this just
No, I think it's still the same game.
All right, okay.
I don't think they've released the Pop Funko version yet. I just think this was them saying it's out like almost now.
All right, go. I'm actually inclined to believe you, because one thing I've noticed over E3 is just when they announce something in one E3, I always assume that it comes out that year.
Yeah,
but
Final Fantasy VII has taught you not to believe
Final
this.
Fantasy VII has taught me not to believe that, and also anything that Nintendo posted at last year's E3 that hasn't come out yet. They announced Luigi's Mansion last year at E3.
Yeah.
They announced Daemon X Machina.
Yeah.
They announced various other things that are still in development now.
Yeah. So there was an update to Forza for some reason. They're
Yeah,
going to
with
give
Lego.
it Lego cars, which I mean, I'll fuck around with that for 20 minutes. Yeah.
Build your own weird hybrid conglomeration of cars using Lego bricks.
One thing that really weirded me out, I was expecting a Minecraft World update because they've been talking about this AR Minecraft game, which I'm like, okay, cool tech demo. But Minecraft Dungeon actually looks kind of interesting because I watched a couple of friends play some Diablo 3 and I was thinking I could get into this type of game.
Yeah. I like the Diablo games because I grew up playing Diablo 1 and Diablo 2 on a very, very crappy Windows XP system, Windows XP PC. So I'm all for more kind of Diablo games, but Diablo set in a Minecraft setting, I don't think I'm in for that.
The idea of a Minecraft style game or a Diablo style game with a Minecraft setting, I mean, it's probably worth a shot. And
yeah, I mean, if people are going to play it, let's not mince words here. People are going to play anything that Minecraft put out.
Yeah.
Or is it Mojang Studios?
Yeah, Mojang. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mojang. I don't care.
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
The key selling point though to all of this has been the fact that if you want to try these games, they will be on Games Pass. That is Microsoft's key thing right now that they cannot set a foot wrong with, because it's basically pay a subscription every month, get access to all these games, and don't worry about it.
Yeah, and the fucking fantastic thing about them announcing Game Pass now, they were saying that if you purchase it now, it costs you $1 or £1, depending on which part of the world you're in, but it still costs you nothing.
It's for what you get access to, it is absurd. I still struggle to figure out how they're making money off of this, and the big technical announcement from them was Game Pass for PC.
And if you buy Game Pass for PC and Xbox, it is not that bad a price at all. It's like $15.
And then there's the Ultimate Edition, which is literally Game Pass, Xbox, PC, and Xbox Live at a dirt cheap price.
That's what I'm talking about. That's $15.
I'm like, how do you make money off of this?
I picture they're going with the strategy that it's $15 that a lot of people are going to be spending a month, because it's that cheap that you're getting. Oh, you're getting PC games and Xbox games, so you're getting maybe 6 titles a month. Yeah, 6 free AAA games
plus
a month.
Any back catalogue that's there.
Exactly, and we
Xbox Live still got games with gold.
Yeah,
that's an absurdly good service. Actually, we're talking about Star Wars Battlefront. I have that because of games with gold.
That's same here. There's so many games that I have through that service.
But it's that's how. I mean, I was predicting that they would push Game Pass with this type of thing. Was not predicting they push this hard.
Yeah, and I think it worked. They had to do something that would combat Sony, and to do that correctly, they would need to have it at a good price, have more content, and basically go for a different aspect of online play that Sony weren't doing. Sony were advertising, you're getting this many games, it's going to be this price. Microsoft went, you know what we're going to do? We're going to give you, certain amount. We're going to give you good games each month. We're going to give you good games for 2 platforms, and it's going to be a damn sight cheaper than Sony's. Yeah. And because of the pedigree of just Microsoft's online service in general, it's going to be a damn sight more stable than it is than PlayStation's. Because as someone who has both PlayStation, Xbox, both PlayStation and Xbox, I can say that where PlayStation might have more good single player games and more good maybe Japanese games, Microsoft has better overall, has better overall platform for playing these type of games that I want to play, like my shooter type games, Resident Evils, and my fighting games, and it has a much better, more solid online service. I've never had a single dropout on a match on Dragon Ball FighterZ or a match on Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite for the month that I played that, but on the PS4 I've had to wait half an hour to get a match on Mortal Kombat 11 when I was fucking around with that. And I've had dropouts left, right and centre. I don't know if it's because of my internet, but we just upgraded the internet, so
kind of ruled that one out.
Yeah,
so.
even though I'm paying for both, I still think Microsoft's got the better deal, and I think that is another drawing point to the Game Pass and to games for gold in general.
Yeah,
or gold, the Xbox Live Gold service. Just that it's always been paid for, so it's always going to be held to that standard. Sony are still catching up.
Yeah,
which I think is going to ultimately bite them in the ass.
Because you're playing a race to catch up in a race that ends very soon.
Yeah.
Because we could talk about the fact that Microsoft have announced Project Scarlet, which will be the next gen console. Who knows what it'll actually be named as, because they, for some reason, looked at the Project Scorpio, thought the name Scorpio was not good. Dumb.
Yeah.
And then decided to just name it the Xbox One X instead, because fuck it, I guess.
I genuinely think it's probably just going to be the Xbox 2.
Yeah.
People, we gave you the Xbox One, we're going to just give you the Xbox 2, because I don't really think...
Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to announce the $2. What the fuck, Microsoft?
Here we have the Q box. You're just... Wrong word, retard.
Care to try again?
One more time. From the top, damn it. Emote.
I also saw the next gen version of their controller. Now...
Oh, is that the Elite 2?
True, yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say, as somebody who uses an Elite controller, oh god, that looks good.
It looks good, but it'll probably have a good old price tag attached to it. I'm thinking maybe $200, £200.
$150.
$150. That's not
$150
bad.
is where they normally launch it about, because $200 for a controller. When you remember that Google Stadia is launching with £120 for their controller, which is also the kind of service itself, or the kind of initial fee for the service itself, you can't charge $200.
Yeah.
$150 for people. Everyone who has an Elite controller right now is saying, "Oh, I could go for an upgrade." It's been about the right amount of time.
Yeah, I would buy it if they came out and said, "Oh wait, $150? No. You're getting it for $70." I would buy it.
Yeah.
The day it came out.
Or if you're only paying $70 for that, it's the engineering involved is too much. It's going to be $150.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, it is going to be $150.
So yeah, that was that's my notes on Microsoft's conference. Just that. You had notes from Microsoft.
Yeah, that I'm kind of annoyed we didn't touch on. It's not something that I really advertise, but that's because I don't really talk about the Dreamcast all that much. But I am a huge fucking Phantasy Star Online fan. I played the original Phantasy Star Online on the Dreamcast without net play. I only played the offline missions, and there was about 18 of them. You could breeze through them very quickly.
Yeah.
And I had such a fucking blast playing this game. I always looked out for a sequel, which we never got. You could get it on PC. There was other Phantasy Star Online games, but they were trash because they weren't made by Sega. They were licensed by Sega, but it was made by crappy other companies that just wanted to try and make the next big Phantasy Star. So the fact that we're now getting the official Phantasy Star 2 online, it's not coming to Europe yet. But there's going to be workarounds. There's going to be, if it's coming to the West, but you're going to be able to log on through your PC or through your Xbox as long as it's connected to a US account or something like that. Yeah. There's going to be ways around that.
Because they had this like a really hyped trailer. Like everyone, I guarantee you, 90% of people watching that went, "What the fuck did I just see? And where do I get it?" Yeah. And then
where do I buy it? And how many hours do you think I'm going to put into it?
Immediately, the response was, "Oh, but not in the UK or the EU."
Yeah, like, shit. We're not in the EU.
We might not be there by the time we get it. We never know.
But yeah, I think the importance of getting a game akin to Phantasy Star Online 2 in the West cannot be understated, because it basically means that it kind of gives power to the whole, if people are really passionate about something, it will happen, because people have been wanting translated, localized PSO2 for fucking ages. Yeah. Now that we're finally getting it, some fucking 15 years later or something like that, it's been a while since Phantasy Star Online 1 came out, and even Phantasy Star Online 2 in Japan, because that is still going strong.
Yeah.
And there have been people that have been translating it for people in the West, but ultimately it's never had that strong a presence in the English-speaking nations in the West. But yeah, I think going forward, it will reach the UK, but it might be a bit of time after the West, after like sort of North America, they get it. But ultimately, I do think it will come here. The second game I wanted to talk about was Dragon Ball Z Project Kakarot,
which broke the stream for me. I don't know if that happened to you. I got a
I was
really
watching-
bad stream when it happened.
I was watching it on GameSpot and it cut out. And it just came up. We were having technical difficulties, but then I switched over to YouTube's just coverage of it.
Yeah.
I watched it to that, and then I was like, "Oh, the game looks pretty cool. It's action RPG. It's full combat. I'll probably pick it up, just because. I mean, it's another Dragon Ball game I have. It can't be much worse than Dragon Ball Xenoverse.
Yeah.
And Xenoverse was bad. Did not like Xenoverse.
I don't know what the point of it is.
Yeah, I don't get why we're getting another Dragon Ball game that's going through the story of Goku from, the start of Dragon Ball Z, Gohan getting kidnapped, the Saiyans coming to Earth, all the way up to presumably the Frieza saga, because we've not seen anything past the Frieza saga.
Yeah, we only saw Frieza saga, and here's the thing: if you want to take it back further, take it back to Dragon Ball.
Yeah, take us back to Kakarot landing and becoming Goku.
That'd be interesting. Go for that one. How do you have the player fight?
Give us a full story of Goku.
Massively, compared to him, overpowered characters.
Yeah,
because he's a kid punching teenagers.
Yeah, and in one occasion, giant robots.
Yeah, so
if he's fighting the Red Ribbon Army, but it was a good point. I'm quite glad that you raised that, because that was going to be one of my points as well. Dragon Ball Z Project Kakarot is a good thing to have, but do we really need it? With Dragon Ball FighterZ doing as well as it is, and how popular Dragon Ball is this just another cash grab, or is this a passion project that someone wanted to bring to light? But ultimately, do people need yet another game that's going to retell the story of Dragon Ball Z? I just don't think it's going to be it's going to be wanted enough. I think people are just going to look at it and go, nah, I don't want it. Which is disappointing, because it looks good visually anyway.
From what I could see between the massively pixelated chunks of the video, it did look pretty nice.
Yeah, looks pretty nice. Yeah.
The Project Scarlet, it's being vaguely teased.
Yeah, but there was one good thing that they did follow up with, because my main fear with Project Scarlet, I'm probably going to buy it because I bought every iteration of PlayStation, Xbox since the 360 and PS3 days. I get that's only really 2 iterations, but I've been sticking with Sony and Microsoft for quite a while. Same with the Nintendo systems, but I'll probably pick up the Scarlet and I'll probably pick up the PS5. My main worry with them, though, was that they were going to go all digital, but they have since drenched that fire and said no, we're going to, people love the physical discs, so we're going to keep the disc tray in there, because we're not going to cut off that from people, because people are going to want to play games from their Xbox 360 library, their Xbox library, old Xbox One titles, so we're not going to remove the disc tray completely. Yeah, that's going to stay there, but we're going to give you 2 terabyte SSDs or something that's going in there?
Yes.
So that's 2 terabytes worth of storage space, so you're probably going to want to use that as well.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that they're
definitely catering for both sides. People that like the all digital, that don't like the clutter of having game boxes everywhere, and then there's the collectors like myself and probably you.
Not really. No.
You prefer everything just on a hard drive?
I don't mind things being on a hard drive. I am concerned though with services like Game Pass that you lose them over time. Yeah. If they would just disappear silently without being noticed.
For me, it's always just I like having the physical boxes there, so it's definitely something I quite like having. I don't want to see it disappear.
No. Oh no, we know collectors and you see them, and it's their happiness, their genuine joy of saying, "Look at all this crap I have."
As I went to Play Expo last week. Yeah, it was the 9th. I usually go there because you find good games for a cheap price, and sometimes I go there. I mean, I say 50% I go there to find cheap games. 50% I go there to laugh at people that inflate the prices. So I went in there and I found a copy of a game that I bought for my brother at £35 on the GameCube, and it was a really, really rare title. Yeah, and I thought, I'll pick that up. It's his favourite game of all time. He'll be fucking happy. And then I went back there and I found it for £200. Wow. And I asked, can I see it over? And I went, this is in worse condition than the one that I bought from CEX 3 years ago. Are you having a laugh? I handed it back to him. Walked away.
Actually, we were talking about the digital versus collectors versions and stuff. Microsoft actually kind of sneakily did their own market research on this one recently. Don't know if you saw this one. They actually released a digital only version of the Xbox One. Yeah,
the 1S all digital or something.
Yeah, I don't know what the code name for it is, but there was a version of an Xbox without a tray for reading discs in it, and the result. I mean, people who liked digital liked it. People who didn't hated it. Yeah,
so I can see why.
I think they would have if they were going to do. I think we're going to keep the disc in there anyway.
Yeah.
But I think they were going with whether or not to announce with fanfare that there would be a disc tray. It turns out, it probably doesn't really matter that much.
People, I think, because of the amount of storage space that's going to be in the Scarlet, I don't think it's going to affect people either way. They're going to just keep digital downloading and use the 2 terabytes that they're going to have, or people are just going to go out and buy the game. It's, as long as they cater for both sides, I think they're going to be happy.
The only thing is, though, that 2 terabyte SSDs are going to fill up fast, because all these consoles next generation are going to be 4K, 60 frames a second, and ray tracing.
Oh yeah, ray tracing is going to be...
Your file sizes now, or you remember how big your file sizes are right now for the games you've got on your Xbox? I honestly think they're going to at least quadruple. Yeah,
I think they're going to get massive, because I think the biggest game that's on my hard drive just now is The Witcher, and that's about 45 to 50, maybe even 62 gigabyte.
I think
that's going to get big. That's not including DLC, because I don't have the DLC. Can I imagine if it did have the DLC, that'd be maybe an extra like 16 to 24.
I got Red Dead 2 at 100 gigs.
Yeah, imagine that with ray tracing, 4K, 60 frames a second, and they're talking about boosting that frame rate.
Yeah,
there was I don't know if it was just buzzwords or little baiting words, but they're talking about going to 120 frames a second. The human eye can't comprehend anything over 30.
No, because if you've seen like gaming monitors that go to like 140, 120, there's a difference between that and even 6 frames a second.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: console gaming, get it to 60, guaranteed on every game.
Have a locked frame rate at 60.
Want to push it hard for the next, like for the upgraded version for like the Xbox One X of the next generation? Put it to 90.
Yeah, that'd be a huge jump.
Lock it. Just say everything is going to run at 90. Guarantee 90 frames a second. It will blow console players' mind. That is fine. That's all you need to do. Don't push that 120. Leave 120 in the PCs and custom rigs and things with like 60. It's 4 gigs of RAM.
Yeah. Do you want to know what the weirdest thing is? Talking about frame rates. The only consoles that I have seen that have locked frame rates have been Nintendo's, and they've only just recently went HD. I'm talking if you go back to the GameCube and play any GameCube game, it has locked 60 frames per second, which is strange as fuck.
Oh.
I mean, it's weird. If you play, just say, pluck a game at the ether here. If you watch Mario Kart Double Dash, on a CRT TV, it runs at 60. But then you go to, say, some equivalent, say Crash Team Racing on PlayStation 2 or something. It runs variably.
I like the idea that somewhere out there, someone is saying, did you just compare Crash Team Racing to motherfucking Mario Kart?
They're the same fucking type of game.
I know, but we know they're the same game. Yeah. But somewhere out there, someone's having a shit fit because you just did that.
Oh, dude, I compared I think I compared Spider-Man to Batman Arkham Knight, and someone literally started the sentence with, "Are you fucking stupid? I'll rip your goddamn throat out." And I went, "Okay, explain." They went, "How fucking dare you say Batman and Spider-Man are the same game?" I was like, "Spider-Man's clearly better." And I went, "Fluid motion combat, full city traversal, gadgets, different suits. They're the same game except fucking different characters." Do not give me that shit.
It is a Spider-Man skin over a fucking Batman game.
Yeah, people say, "Oh, Spider-Man's totally different from Batman Arkham Knight." It's the same game.
Speaking of Spider-Man games, Bethesda. I got you with that one, didn't I?
Spider-Man
You're trying to figure it out, aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
So, most people would have really enjoyed a 20-minute Todd
Howard
apology.
Spider-Man
game? I was fucking with you.
Did you mean to say Todd McFarlane, not Todd Howard? No. Todd Howard's Bethesda conference was weird.
Yeah.
Because not talking about any games that he released, Todd Howard spoke very, very slowly. Not because he wanted to. I think he wanted to say his piece and get out. Yeah. But every time he spoke, there was just a long and prolonged, just woo, people cheering their nuts off. So he would say, "Hi, I'm Todd Howard, woo, and I'm here to talk woo, but follow it, woo, 70, woo, 6, woo." And that it's like, let the man speak.
I saw there was people in the audience clapping, like standing, giving him a standing ovation.
There was 8 people giving him a standing ovation.
What are you doing? I'm sorry. After the release of Fallout 76, I think it's fair to say Todd Howard is one of the bad guys of video games right now.
Oh yeah, he's definitely getting a lot of flack, and he even admits himself that it's well deserved.
He admitted it on stage that they deserved every comment, criticism that they've received, and frankly, they've not received enough because.
There is something I wanted to talk about before we jump into Bethesda proper. they did finish off. Microsoft did finish off with some Borderlands 3 footage.
All right, yeah.
And obviously I was going to pick it up, but it showed you some little cool stuff with the different characters' abilities. One of the characters is called Flak the Beastmaster, who's a robot that can control different types of beasts.
Yeah.
And they announced who's doing his voice. It's Sungwon Cho, Pro ZD,
right. Okay.
which I thought, that's pretty cool. He's finally getting recognition as a voice actor.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's got a fairly kind of deep, monotone voice, so it'd be pretty cool to see him playing a robot.
The only thing is for me though, it's his voices are very obviously him.
Yeah.
Like he stands out like a sore thumb in Genlock.
I think
and in Ruby.
Yeah.
And you're like,
But I think when you're next to a hyperactive soldier with a giant mech and an English operative spy and an Indian female shredded siren,
yeah,
I think it's just going to all blend together.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to work. And I mean, I'm not going to talk about Borderlands 3 just now because I'm so fucking hyped for this game. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. It's looking pretty good.
Yeah, it's looking pretty tasty. And the DLC...
Guns with legs, people. Guns with legs.
Guns with legs. The DLC that just came out that they announced, Commander Lilith and the Fight for Sanctuary.
Right.
Me and my brother just ran through that. It's pretty fucking awesome. It sets up Borderlands 3 just nicely.
Yeah.
And it was nice to go back to Borderlands 2 and just play that for a bit.
Yeah. Right, so...
Bethesda.
I say we're all hoping for a 20-minute Todd Howard apology. We kind of got that with the very weird We Are Bethesda video, which was just fucking cringy.
Yeah, it was bad. Like, real bad.
You're watching it going, you guys got pasted and you deserved it for Fallout 76. Yeah. And to say, look, we're gamers too, and we get you keep us in check, and we're really sorry, but please stop threatening to kill us.
Yeah, please stop sending us death threats. It was only a bag. It was only a bag.
Look, we're not threatening to kill you. We're just very disappointed by the quality of your games.
We're not angry. We're just disappointed.
Yeah, and none of us are threatening to kill you.
Yeah,
seriously.
Although a couple of people did threaten a few executives at Bethesda because of the stupid bag scandal.
Oh.
Yeah, they were expecting a duffel bag and they got some crappy little vinyl bag and that pissed off a lot of people.
They were sold canvas bags and received
canvas bags. Yeah.
My favourite one though from all the criticism for Fallout 76 was the bobby pins that used to pick locks and stuff.
Yeah.
Where the weight was set like to absurd amounts. Like they were like a bobby pin itself would weigh like 1,600 times more than an actual bobby pin in real life.
Yeah, weren't they? Because I remember playing a little bit of Fallout 3 and they were set to 0.3 of a gram or something like that.
Yeah.
That was very, very light.
They're set to something stupid like, you're like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. But what somebody did was mailed them a box of bobby pins and just said, weigh these with a note.
That's
bravo, sir. Bravo.
That is next level douchebaggery. Here's a box of Kirby grips. Yeah. Weigh them all.
Weigh them
individually.
Mail me your results and then fix your fucking Game Boy.
If I don't approve of them, I shall send you more Kirby grips.
That level of spite is fantastic, and I really enjoy that level. Just sheer pettiness.
That's pretty funny.
The things that were actually announced when you were done with all the like apologies that kind of waved out. I mean, it was so weird to see them not start with Todd Howard. Like they started with their senior like head of marketing or something like that.
Yeah, it was a vice president of something.
Yeah, I know. Okay, that I guess just to break the ice, have someone who's not a total liar appear.
Yeah, have someone who isn't currently being likened to Michael Bay.
Yeah,
someone told me that he looks like Michael Bay.
He does
I cannot
look a bit like
unsee
Michael Bay. Like
when you sent me the picture of Elon Musk standing next to Todd Howard, I didn't have my glasses on, so I immediately thought, what the fuck is Elon Musk doing with Michael Bay? And then I realised, oh, he's not as tall as Michael Bay. It's clearly Todd Howard.
Yeah.
If you shrink Michael Bay, you get Todd Howard. Put him in the washer. If you add water to Todd Howard, he evolves.
Todd Howard is Michael Bay's nerdy little brother.
Holy shit. How fucking weird would that be if Todd Howard was an actor and had to legally change his name because there was another Todd Bay in the acting studio? And he went, fuck this, I'm going to change my name to Todd Howard and I'm going to become a video game director. I'm going to piss people off with no NPCs.
For some reason, they wanted to talk about how good Elder Scrolls the
Online.
Blades was.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Like, dude, no, don't talk about that. That's embarrassing.
Why are so many mobile games coming to Switch?
You made a cash grab fucking mobile game where you can basically just pay to get rid of waiting times.
Yeah.
And yet you say it's not a pay-to-win service. You say it's a great game. It's like, no, you made a pay-to-win service.
Yeah, it's strange. And what bugs me the most about this is Bethesda have this weird knack of putting their mobile games onto Switch because you can get Fallout Shelter on Switch.
It's a good game though.
I couldn't get it.
Yeah.
Now you can get Elder Scrolls Blades on Switch. Why would I play Elder Scrolls Blades when for £15, if I really wanted to, I could just buy Skyrim on anything?
On my toaster.
I can play it on my shoe.
God damn it.
If I buy a Tesla, I can play it on my fucking Tesla.
The weird thing is that they say that there's no way to interact with Skyrim players. I'm like, dude, just watch where they buy it. You've given them every option. If you can learn through the buying habits what people want to buy, where they want to buy it, what they want to buy it for. Like there's a way you can data mine Skyrim. It's just not the same way you can data mine Fallout 76. Yeah. But they're really pushing Fallout 76. And I knew this was going to happen. They were going to say, guys, we fixed it. We promise. It's so much better now. Here's our 2-year plan of shit that will totally fix the game.
Which they started off in the weirdest way possible. It's like, starting from next update, we will have human NPCs in the game. Who's with me? And everyone's just going, that should have been in the game at the start. Hurry the fuck up. And then there's those 8 people just going, woo, Todd fucking Howard. Because it was always 8 people. The same group of 8 people that were at the front, slightly to the left of the main stage. All, funnily enough, wearing Bethesda t-shirts. Like somebody was wearing a Tango Games Work t-shirt. They were all Bethesda properties, just losing their fucking mind. Plants, maybe? Answers on a postcard.
The answer is yes, but answers on a postcard. I did like Jim Stelling's point on it was, why did you get applause for the bare fucking minimum of game design in 2019?
That bugged me so much.
If you make an artistic game where there's no NPCs because there's no people left and you're the last remaining human, awesome.
If you're some kind of robot that's traversing a dead city because every other piece of organic matter died, sure. But
great artistic move. I like it.
But if you're playing
if you're making a Bethesda game,
if you're playing a game that's meant to be, I mean, let's not mince words.
Humanity reclaiming the surface.
Let's not mince words here. Fallout games, to an extent, in fact, Fallout games are all about just reconnecting with humanity. You've been in these vaults, you've been in seclusion. It's all about reconnecting with the world at large and fighting the creatures that have taken over the world when you've been in your little safe anti-radioactive bunkers. Mm-hmm. So when you're coming out into these worlds, you want to see some other fucking humans, not nothing. Or occasionally big mutated bears and dragons that want to fuck you up. Yeah.
So congratulations on the bare fucking minimum, Bethesda.
They're absolutely the lowest common denominator and got away with it. And people seem to like it because they got lukewarm applause from the rest of the people outside of the 8 fucking Bethesda cheerleaders.
Those are the
Bethesda cheer squad at the front there.
The Bethesda cheer squad's families are being held at gunpoint. Tom, stop making fun of them. Okay?
Todd Howard was at you know how you could see the backstage every so often, you'd see people with cameras clicking away. Todd Howard was just sitting there with their families going, I'll fucking do it. I'll fucking do it.
Don't test me, boy.
My brother's Michael Bay, motherfucker. I'll do it.
I'll do it and I'll make it look amazing.
I'll get the telephoto shot with a helicopter above head. There'll be an explosion. I'll have Megan Fox half naked on a Ferrari. It'll be my brother's Ferrari.
but it'll look awesome.
It'll look great. And I'll be covered in sweat for no reason.
But I didn't have much to point out on Bethesda. I mean, they're doing Doom.
Doom Eternal looks fucking great.
Yeah.
But
make a PP hard.
Make them PP hard. The main plot, or the main thing behind Doom Eternal is they've taken the very limited traversal options that they had in the first Doom game, Doom 2016, and they've just thought, let's dial it up to 11. Let's give them a fucking double jump from the beginning of the game. Let's give them parkour options where you can swing off bars and stuff. Let's give them a chainsaw wrist. Let's give them a knife wrist blade. Let's give them a fucking shoulder mounted flamethrower. No. Let's give them a weird doom slaying sword. Let's just go fucking balls to the wall. And they did finish off with a trailer that was fucking hilarious. You know the BFG?
Yeah.
Like the big fucking gun or the Bioforce gun, depending on which canon of the game you're watching. The one that you got in Doom 2016 was the BFG 9000.
Yeah.
So now in Doom Eternal you get the BFG 10,000, which is a giant orbital laser.
And is in fact over 9,000.
Yep.
Very important.
Yep. Very good distinction to make. So to get back to Mars, I think the Doomslayer's trying to get back to Mars to close a Hellgate or something like that.
Yeah.
General Doomslaying shit.
Yeah.
He finds the BFG 10,000, kicks the shell out of the way and just braces himself in the locking mechanism and shoots himself halfway across the planet and just lands on Mars like, yep, brushes himself down, pulls out his super shotgun and just goes to kill demons.
He's so stupid. It's like an 80s action movie.
Yeah, and it is so great.
It's like all of the 80s action movies just condensed into one thing that's just pumped full of steroids and PCP and just fired at a room full of demons. I cannot get enough of just the idea of the Doom Marine.
Oh, the idea of the Doomslayer is what every child in the late 80s to early 90s who watched these over the top, last action hero type movies, when you had fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone,
Dolph Lundgren. I was going to say, I'm running out of Jean-Claude Van Damme, all these fucking movies. The guys at id Software are basically just going, oh, they're not dead. We're going to give you more of that shit. We're going to make sure that is alive and well with these fucking awesome Doom games. And I think if people haven't played Doom 2016, you could get it for about a tenner on Xbox. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's on the Xbox sale for about $8.99. Yeah.
Pick it up. It is such a fun game. It is over the top, like just action.
And I dare you
fucking
to
fantastic.
Kick it up to insanity. I fucking
You
dare
will
you.
kill yourself. You will want to destroy everything around you. You will become the Doomslayer because of how hard insanity mode is.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But I was super fucking hyped for Doom Eternal. It was another one of those games that I was always going to be buying day one. And since they announced the Doomslayer Helmet Edition, I'm going to be picking that up. Somebody will come round to my house and just...
Is this going to be like the Master Chief one where they made the Master Chief helmet version?
You can actually wear it.
Okay, because that was the most disappointing thing. You see kids come out crying like, I can't put it on my head.
Someone split their skull open trying to put it on. They just get hitting it against their head trying to force it on. Eventually just...
For the record, if you didn't know what the size of this thing was, there was space inside the Master Chief helmet for the game and a book or two or the CD or whatever.
There was a steel book, a little thin art book in the game itself, the game box itself. That was enough.
And some kid was like, I can make it fit.
Yeah, I can force my head in this. You could make it fit, but you had to take the entire back end of the helmet off.
Yeah. You'd have to actually engineer it. And
you had to sit and screw it and cut bits off. It wasn't worth it.
Especially when you just go pay a cosplayer and make one for you.
Yeah, you just buy a shit ton of EVA foam and make it yourself.
Yeah.
The job's good. But who do we have after Bethesda?
I had next Ubisoft.
I literally got so bored with this one. I went and took the dog out for a walk. I got so bored watching Ubisoft. There was a couple of cool moments, but it did highlight a weird kind of similarity from a later conference that we'll probably get onto, that there's a couple of games companies that are now moving on to doing movie type stuff.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, with Rob McElhenney came out at the start of the Ubisoft conference and said, "Oh, we're partnering with Ubisoft." Yeah, Ubisoft.
Yeah.
To do a Netflix show, and I just thought, really?
Yeah,
that's kind of weird.
I guess they're gonna Ubisoft will be the technical, so it might even be the people who might host it. Or they might use the studio space.
Yeah, I think what it might have been is because the show that they were talking about, I think it was called Might and Magic or something like that.
Yeah.
They made a kind of mock-up of a game that they're meant to be producing in the show.
Yeah.
And maybe they've provided them some software or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that piece and I was like, that's really odd, but I mean, I'll get it's Rob McElhenney, I'll give it a go.
Yeah. Although it pissed me off how they pronounced his name.
Yeah.
Ian. It's clearly spelt fucking Ian, but they're going with Ian. It pissed me off.
Alright.
It's I don't know. I mean, I thought it might just been an American thing. They've not many people are called Ian over there, but just a stupid little pronunciation grammar gripe.
It's weird though that Rob McElhenney has been a game nerd for ages.
Yeah,
he was apparently at Minecon 3 or 4 years ago. He just loves games.
Isn't he meant to be directing the Five Nights at Freddy's movie?
I'm not sure.
I remember seeing that a while ago. I remember seeing that on Machinima Inside Gaming.
Ooh.
Before Inside Gaming became their own channel through Rooster Teeth.
Yeah. Which is just I'm not explaining that one again. It hurts too much.
Yeah, it hurts the brain.
So my things for this was I was expecting kind of news for the Rainbow Six Siege update, but instead we get a Rainbow Six game that's going to be a horror movie. Or it's going to be a horror game. I am so fucking up for this.
See, I was going in and out of the room at the time when Ubisoft's conference was going on. They announced what felt to me 3 different versions of Rainbow Six Siege and a couple other games a couple other Division type games. They all looked exactly the same. They all had the prefix
Tom Clancy.
And I just thought these all could just be the same game.
Yeah. Well, if there's going to be the Ghost Recon, there'll probably be Division 2 DLC.
Yeah.
And then the Rainbow Six. I keep wanting to say Rainbow Six Siege because the original
Rainbow Six Ghosts.
Rainbow Six Contamination. Rainbow Six Quarantine,
right?
Which is really funny because I was watching the trailer. I'm like, this looks really intense. I like the fact that your POV is blacking out, like he just cannot take the pain of whatever's shooting through his arm.
Yeah.
And you just see him like just kind of freak the hell out and just kind of, I can't do this. And then out of nowhere comes fucking Vigil and Ella from the Rainbow Six Siege game, and I love the fact that there is a crossover between like the Siege characters and this new Rainbow Six thing, because it's the same team.
That's the same team.
It is the Rainbow Six team. I just love the fact that we get these cinematics. Like they made one called Hammer and Scalpel.
Alright.
And it was just like a 15-minute like dramatic cinematic trailer. It was just Ubisoft saying, we made this. You want to see it?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I
saw it and I was like, this is awesome. This is like, remember when we saw Final Fantasy Spirits Within? And you're like, huh, I didn't think this, or Advent Children.
Yeah, I think because Spirits Within was one that looked cool for the time, but it was just, let's make a film that looks cool but has no story to it. But but Advent Children was definitely the kind of the wake up animation call, because this game actually has a story. This film has a story to it, and is actually visually stunning. Yeah,
well, it looks like the modern version of that.
Nice,
but it's got a weird kind of tactical, like current day, modern day kind of tactical espionage feel to it. So it's very weird to see it then go. And now we shift gear into like a weird kind of sci-fi horror film with a zombie infestation, because they made the infestation mode for Rainbow Six Siege last Halloween, and that was awesome. It was a weird kind of zombie survival, like small limited maps, but playing with a limited number of characters, and you would like basically fight off against this weird demonic zombie horde. And the fact that it now becomes a full game, and it's really weird to see. Vigil and Ella. Vigil, damn it! I made a Russian badger meme joke.
All right.
His name is Vigil, but you gotta call him Vigil because Vigil. Gotta call him Vigil. His name's Vigil. His name is clearly Vigil. But Vigil and Ella are both defending operators, so I don't know why they're being sent in to extract someone. I mean, they're also very fast, very hard hitting operators, so it does kind of make sense in a way. But why are they extracting? The Siege part of my brain is a little flustered at the moment. So great trailer though, fucking really atmospheric.
Yeah, I just don't think. I think for the Tom Clancy games, you need to be like yourself, the kind of person that plays those type of games constantly. I was just not into them at all. I'm not a fan of the whole shooter genre. If I am a fan of it, it needs to be the kind of over the top Borderlands type stuff, or there needs to be a horror element to it. So Quarantine was kind of intriguing.
Yeah,
might be something I'd pick up and play, but it just ultimately reminds me that we're never going to get a Left 4 Dead 3, and that just depresses me.
Honestly, at this point, do you think Valve can still make a game?
I don't think they're even still open. I think Gabe Newell has closed down that place and is just taking all the Steam money for himself.
No, it's just Valve makes Steam. That's what Valve do.
Yeah,
I wouldn't trust them with, and that's what they said was, we're never making Half-Life 3 because we can never make people happy enough with the ending.
Oh yeah,
like you've written yourself into a corner where it's too hyped up. You would never fulfill the prophecy that is required to finish the Half-Life series successfully. I mean, for example, see the end of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, definitely. I just realised we missed a few big titles from the Microsoft conference that I kind of wanted to talk about.
We'll finish Ubisoft, because I was very curious to see what you thought about the Assassin's Creed story creator. In a weird...
The story creator?
They literally have made a thing where you can just pick characters, locations from Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and you can make your own missions with it. That, to me, we're talking about like data mining and learning what your audience wants and what they want to play and how they want to play it. That is huge. And totally probably going to be crap gameplay-wise.
Probably, yeah.
But to be able to see what everyone makes when you're given the entire kiddies play box and told... There you go, kids. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I think it'll probably be something along the lines of Mario Maker.
Yeah.
When it's just, here's this infinite play box. Make whatever the fuck you want. Or you've made unwinnable situations and very, very weird levels.
Yeah.
I think it'll be something along the lines of that, except it'll be weird, funky parkour challenges from Assassin's Creed.
Well, the version they show is, it was some weird mission about guarding an albino bear as it tries to cross an island, and someone made this weird thing, and it gets attacked by other bears. You're like, oh my god, albino bear, I'll kill the albino bear, and you've got to fight off a bunch of bears in the middle of Greece. I'm like, okay, that shows an interesting premise, but when you have access to every every asset in the game library.
Yeah, why don't go
What
back
do you
to
do with it?
Yeah, what I would do, I would go back to the Assassin's Creed 2 level where you find the Kraken swimming around underwater. I make you fight the Kraken.
I think it's only for Odyssey, but
I would make you fight the Kraken. I would put a Kraken in there and I'll make you fight it.
why is it in Greece if we can't have the Kraken? I don't understand
Exactly.
your bullshit.
Why are we near water if I can't put sea mythical beasts in there?
I wonder if you'd be able to recreate battles.
I mean, I'd kind of hope that you'd be able to, because that's kind of the allure of those type of games for me anyway, is recreating like older set pieces in a newer style. Because with Mario Maker, I was always very, very much intrigued with making old Super Mario 1, 2 and 3 levels in modern New Super Mario Bros. Style.
Yeah.
That'd be the whole draw to that game for me anyway. There was another game that they announced. I don't know if it was on Nintendo's stream or if it was on Ubisoft, but there was a game called Gods and Monsters. Was that Ubisoft? Because they said it was from the creators of Assassin's Creed.
Possibly.
And it was some little Roman looking chick who went up to the top of the hill and then was attacked by a giant eagle. It looked really cool. It looked very Breath of the Wild. And that kind of shit intrigued me. But ultimately, I think since Assassin's Creed 2, in fact, even since the end of the Ezio saga, I've not really been interested in Assassin's Creed. The one set in London where you play as Jacob and Evie was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was a good one.
But I haven't really engaged with that series in quite a while. The one that I was going to get back into was Origins, when you played it when it was set in Egypt.
Origins was so fucking gorgeous.
Yeah,
it was absurd.
That's what was going to get me back into the game, because it looked stunning. It looked like it was going to play really well, but I just never really found the time to get back into it. Wasn't to be fair, I'll tell the truth, I did want to play it a bit, but I never really had the compulsion to go out and seek it out.
Which one?
Origins, the one that kind of kicked off again.
Yeah, Origins. It was gorgeous to look at. At the same time, not a lot going on under the hood.
Yeah, it was just basically tech demo type.
As someone who really enjoys Assassin's Creed like as a franchise, it was fun to play it and it was definitely worth it. But at the same time, the actual what made it interesting was just kind of being in another Assassin's Creed game in a new setting, which for me is the appeal. But then you have something like Odyssey, which changes its core mechanics, and I immediately go, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, you try to change it. I mean, for me, the formula is already winning. You don't need to upgrade it or change it or do whatever to make the winning formula.
Odyssey was you played as the inheritors of the spear of Leonidas or something.
I don't know the story.
Or the spear of Leonidas, if you were the announcer for the trailer. It kind of reminds me of the old IGN fuck up with welcome to the trials of Hades.
Oh.
To the trials of Hades. Because I think it was two people that were auditioning for a role as a host on an IGN show, and it showed you their demo tape, and it said, we're going to show you some gameplay here from the Trials of Hades. Then you could see in the guy's face, he went, that's Hades. That's fucking Hades.
So with Ubisoft, kind of I like Ubisoft games. You don't really dig them that much.
I don't really dig them. It's cool to see John Bernthal.
Yeah,
the Punisher was out there with his dog. It was very, very well behaved.
Yeah,
very well behaved dog.
The Ghost Recon series is the one that I'm not that into. I've played it a bit on my brother's account, but I mean it's one of the ones that there's only so many Tom Clancy games that I physically have time for, and for some reason I made the cut at Ghost Recon Wildlands. If I hadn't gotten this far into Division 2, it would have probably been I'd have went with Ghost Recon instead. But I'll maybe get around to that eventually because it looks really, really good. And again, the idea of being on the back foot and being the kind of small insurgent force versus an army is a lot of fun. If you're not overpowered and god tier like you are with the Just Cause franchise.
Yeah. Did you ever get into the Just Cause games? I could never
played 4.
I played 3, and I found that once I'd rescued the actor that was doing all the announcements, when you figured out where David Tennant was, I was bored with the game. Because it took you so long to get to do that side mission, and I was just... I'm not really a fan of open games where it just go and do shit. I like some semblance of a story, and Just Cause 3 was just, you've landed, do whatever the fuck you want, and it was always kind of a...
I had a lot of fun with 4 because it was the first game I got on my PC, and it was what I was using to kind of test to see how far I could push it out, and damn, I could push that PC up for a fucking mile. I had a lot of fun with as I say, this kind of stage where you're the weak underdog, and you're like getting scrappy and fighting for your life and trying to liberate cities and stuff as you go, you then get to the point where you can just fly if you control your character right. And I said, I don't care. I just do not care. I'm done with this. I don't need to.
You could use your weird squirrel suit and you could fly. I'm fucking done with it. I don't care that you have a grappling hook. I don't care that you have a fucking.
I was cool with the grappling hook. I was cool with like the squirrel suit when it's a squirrel suit. I don't care when you give me the squirrel suit and say, but now we've applied boosters so you can just fly wherever you want if you control it. Right?
Kind of defeats the point of the squirrel suit because you're kind of cheating using the backpack.
Yeah, and you couldn't go back to just a squirrel suit. Yeah. You had to use the superpowered version where if you turned your mouse the wrong way or you pushed the wrong button, you boosted into a mountain.
Yeah, that was weird.
Like, great, thanks for the great gaming experience. But if you take me to the point where back to at the start of it, where I'm running in with like just a pistol and maybe like an AK-47 to take down, an entire building full of bad guys, and I probably won't make it the first time. That's what I want. So, I mean, when you give me those Tom Clancy games where everything's like that, but in a weird way, kind of more boring. Like I've got to be thinking about a lot more issues than I would if in say like a run and gun game.
Yeah.
For some reason I really enjoy watching numbers get slowly like better and then just like having weird tactical boring decisions made constantly. Don't know what that says about me. I'm trying not to think about it too much.
Yeah, I wouldn't read too much into that. But
speaking of things I don't want to think about, Square Enix.
Yeah, was Elden Ring, was that Square Enix?
That was Microsoft.
That was Microsoft. What did you think about that? Just general thoughts on a George R.R. Martin Soulsborne game.
I'm down for it, but I want to see it. Like, I want to see gameplay.
You want to see actually something substantial. I think that people aren't going to get what they want from this game because, think about it this way. Hidetaka Miyazaki likes putting the gameplay first. He likes putting, the lore's there. Make no mistake, the lore is there, and lore is substantial. The lore is just fucking like a big fat hog right in your face.
Yeah.
But Miyazaki likes to put the gameplay first. If you look for the lore, you will find lore. But the lore is told through characters. I think George R.R. Martin is more of a, I will make the lore there. Even if you don't want it, the lore will be right in front of you. You'll be met with screeds and screeds of lore.
Yeah.
Which I think is going to be a bit of a conflict that isn't going to be beneficial for the game, I think.
No. The main thing that hit me with Square Enix was just knowing this entire thing would be wanking off about Final Fantasy.
Yeah, and they came out with some real stinkers, I'm not going to lie. The main things I was looking forward to were I was looking forward to seeing how Final Fantasy 7 played, because I've never played Final Fantasy 7 on PlayStation 1. I own it for the Switch, but that was because my brother wanted it and I was struggling for a birthday present. So I went, I bought you Final Fantasy 7 for the Switch. I've always wanted to play it just because people say it is one of the best games of all time.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if it's actually going to be one of the best games of all time or if it's going to be that game they played when they were a kid.
Yeah, I think that... I mean, that's definitely how I feel, because when back in high school we used to trade games all the time, and it was always this kind of, dude, try this game. Fine, I'll try Final Fantasy 7, and I couldn't get past the first disc. Yeah. And I've always wanted to play it just to say, as a kind of another arrow in the quiver, just think, I've played Final Fantasy 7. I can talk shop about Final Fantasy 7.
I'm a real gamer. I've played Final Fantasy 7.
I'm a gamer. Gamers rise up. I don't know why I did that. Like
that's the Fist of Solidarity.
The Fist of Solidarity. I don't know why I did that. Yeah. I can't do this. Can't do that anymore.
Naughty Dom.
That's a bad one.
Naughty Dom with his naughty fingers. Naughty fingers.
Naughty Fingers is my favourite bluegrass jazz band.
So the Final Fantasy 7, I was kind of guessing there'd be also Kingdom Hearts stuff based on like the way you said that Kingdom Hearts, the ending was a bit, it could be better. There
was more of a Kingdom Hearts 3 ended on a we've got more stuff coming.
Yeah,
it was not really it was a real whimper, not the bang that they wanted it. So I think if there was going to be Square Enix were going to give us DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3, and they did, but they leaked it, or it was leaked about a week before E3, so I'd already seen this trailer, and that trailer that I'd seen was basically just recut stuff that I'm pretty sure I'd already seen before.
Yeah.
From the secret ending of Kingdom Hearts 3, which I got because I played it on proud mode and done fucking everything in the game to get it.
Yeah.
I'd already seen it, and it was just recut stuff with some extra stuff at the end, with maybe a couple of extra keyblades that we didn't get in game. But what I really wanted was the ability to switch main characters.
Weird thing to request from a game, but okay.
Yeah, just
show you working.
Because Sora is so fucking boring. He is the Goku character. It's just because you've got Riku. Riku is more the Vegeta. Riku has a reason for wanting their strength. He fucked up monumentally.
Sora's just there to try his best.
Sora's fucking exactly hitting the nail on the head.
I was joking about that. I have no idea what a Sora is.
Sora's just kind of the, hey guys, we're going to go and fight the darkness. Hold on, let me get my Keyblades. Come on, Donald and Goofy, you're my best buddies. Yeah, fucking pretty much. Riku's just there going, okay, I fucked up in the first game. I tried to kill all these people. They're accepting me. I'm going to fight my fucking ass off to make sure that I'm going to keep these guys safe. And he's actually had to work to, regain like lost strength and stuff. Yeah. He has a bit more of a reason behind him. Yeah. Same with another character, Axel, who was a bad guy in other games. He can now wield a Keyblade. He needs to make sure that he's worthy of it. These guys are so much better than fucking Sora, who's just kind of this rainbow of a character, and it's what he's meant to be. He's meant to be the ultimate big light in the game. Yeah. But I am not interested in playing as Sora anymore. And Kingdom Hearts 3 kind of killed that for me. I want to play as Riku. I want to play as fucking Roxas. I want to play as anybody else that's not fucking Sora now.
Can you imagine being one of those characters that's the guiding light that will save the universe? I'd be so fucking bored. I'd be so annoyed. People are like, you've got to do it. It's your destiny. Would you fuck off with that bullshit?
Every time someone says to me, oh, you are the chosen one, I just think of South Park. Oh, can I not be the chosen one today? Like Butters.
Oh, come on.
Do I have to be the chosen one, guys? Can it be someone else? But yeah, I'm glad that we're getting Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC, but I'd be even happier if we got the ability to swap main characters. So you can level up Sora at the same time, but if you want to go and play as Riku for a bit, you can go and play a different adventure path with Riku. Or you want to play as Kairi, who was a character teased back in Kingdom Hearts 2 as being another Keyblade wielder, and you see her training just as hard because she doesn't want to be left behind by the two dudes. Yeah. She's like, I'm going to train as well. Fuck you guys. I'm going to get that. I'm going to get to that level and be on par with you guys. But they never showed us anything to do with Kairi other than she gets kidnapped by the main bad guy and ultimately killed. And then Sora's main story arc for the rest of the game is, oh no, she's not dead. I'm going to go and find her. Even if it kills me, I'm going to go and find her. Like, okay. The more grown-up thing to do would be Sora realising that, oh, maybe my ultra-optimism isn't the best. Maybe I need a slice of realism in there. Yeah. Maybe I just need to honour the fact that Kairi's passing. But death is a revolving door in comics and Kingdom Hearts and video games. Death is never permanent. So, yeah. It doesn't matter. And none of this fucking matters.
When you're the guiding light that's going to save the universe, why don't you think you can bring your
why not just click your fingers? I mean, you died and you literally walked about as a floating head until you found the rest of your body. You have to find all the different aspects of your body and piece yourself back together. But it's not like, oh, here's your lungs. You've now got your lungs back and you just find a pair of floating lungs. You have to go around and gather all these floating Soras. It's really weird. It was one of the weakest parts of the game.
It's a Kingdom Hearts game. It's a
Kingdom Hearts game.
That sounds like some bullshit.
Yeah, but to be honest, at this point with Kingdom Hearts, I'm not really bothered about story to an extent because I tried to figure out the story back in high school when I first started playing it, and I remember getting a lot of migraines. Now I'm just all in there for the sweet action JRPG gameplay. Yeah, that's all I'm in for. And to be fair, Kingdom Hearts 3 delivered on that majorly, but the attractions that you could use that would summon Disney park rides and they would cause damage to other people can get straight to fuck.
I saw someone hit like a giant wolf with the boat from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
I was like, what the fuck is this game?
It's a good attack if the game wasn't so fucking easy. If you're genuinely struggling for damage against an enemy, and you've got an attraction set to X or triangle, by all means fucking use it. But if the game wasn't so easy, you would need them. The game's piss easy, so you don't fucking need them at all. I played through the entire game using the starting Keyblade, and I never struggled once. I think I died twice through the entire hard mode playthrough.
I was trying to think of a Kingdom Hearts joke, but I don't know. I think I'm referencing the wrong thing.
Yeah, really, don't rack. It's not Kingdom Hearts 3 is not worth the joke. Yeah, which is a bad thing to say because I've been looking forward to Kingdom Hearts 3 for a long time. Yeah.
But other than that, like for Kingdom Hearts Final Fantasy, when it comes to Square Enix, I know very little.
Yeah.
So I was
Square Enix didn't have a great show on this year. They literally were whole hogging it on Final Fantasy 7.
I mean, it prints money.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes sense.
They've put no definitive end on Final Fantasy 7. They've said we're going to give you Final Fantasy 7 Part 1 or Chapter 1 as they're calling it.
Yeah.
And this is going to be 2 Blu-ray discs full of content. That's 100 gigs worth of content on these discs. On these 2 discs, 50 gigs each.
They need to just get that fucking thing out there. This is absurd. I know they got away with it with Kingdom Hearts, by like holding it off for like 15 years by producing like little bits and pieces. But seriously, guys, it shit or get off the pot.
Yeah, shit or get off the pot. Because I think the first game that they're doing, the first remake, is only set in the first sort of backdrop of Midgar.
Mm-hmm.
And that is maybe the first disc, maybe a part of the first disc, but you're having 2 full Blu-ray discs worth of content for the first part of a game. Motherfucker. Oh, that's cool. AC/DC tribute at San Diego. Motherfucker. I'm not in San Diego. Keep that ranting. Don't even edit it. But I think it's getting to the point where Square Enix and Final Fantasy VII just need to hurry this shit up. I think you're right with that. It's getting to a point where fans are going to wait, and I think they're going to wait up to a point.
Yeah.
It's just then going to get to the point where they are sick and fucking tired of waiting. I think, 15 years? In fact, no, let's be generous. When did Final Fantasy VII come out? Early 90s.
Yeah.
Maybe 1996.
It's slightly younger than us, so 96 sounds about right.
Yeah, so we're talking 13 years for a game. No, longer than 13 years. I can't count.
It's the remaster of it. It's 23 years or something like that for the remaster of a game.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're waiting for 25 years for some reason, you know what? I think that's what they're doing.
Waiting for 25 years.
25 years to finish it off.
Yeah.
Maybe
they don't want to end on a round number.
They'll get part 1 out, and then part 2, the journey finishes 25 years after.
Yeah, so they can have 25 years of Final Fantasy VII. Like what they did with Kingdom Hearts. They waited exactly 13 years. Which I think is complete horseshit. They say, we wanted to do something thematic. No, you just pissed off a lot of fans is what you did.
You guys don't have the money for that. I'm sorry.
Like Square Enix is such a small production team, I've realised.
Yeah.
They have a very few game directors that work on Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts games.
And the only thing I can think of other than those 2 games was Deus Ex, and I think they've said they're done with that because the last one bombed.
Yeah, plus the people that worked on Deus Ex Machina and Deus Ex Human Revolution and Deus Ex Machina are now... I think they were Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah.
And they are now being shifted over to the Avengers game, which I got some problems with.
Yeah.
Character models look funky.
I don't know why after... I mean, I saw this on I think it was Inside Gaming's coverage of this, and they were saying, why after a decade of the greatest run of cinema, like history, money-wise, ever, like, why are you then taking those established characters and then changing how they look?
Yeah.
It would be the easiest cash grab in the world to just pay for their likenesses.
Yeah. But you imagine how expensive that would be? It'd be worth it, but it'd be expensive. And Square Enix, I don't think, have that kind of money.
But they've already got the in.
Yeah.
I guarantee after all the stuff they've done with Kingdom Hearts, I guarantee they've got a pretty good contact at Disney right now.
Yeah.
So guys, how'd you like to trust us with that IP? I mean, remember the last time you trusted us with an IP? Pretty decent thing happened.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts sold gangbusters. I think what bugged me the most about it is they looked a little bit like their movie counterpart.
It's not enough to be like, oh, this is a totally different character, which is what you'd want. You'd want to say, yes, Avengers had their thing. This is a new thing. This is not the MCU. This is our universe for the Avengers. Yeah, we're going to use a lot of the same plot points and stuff, but this is our take on it. Here are these totally new characters, and you think, this kind of looks like the porn adaptations that we see after the movies come out.
I heard the porn adaptations pretty funny, but I heard the one that I heard was it looked like they got their stunt doubles and cast them as the characters. Although I do like how they've redesigned Thor.
Right.
It looks a bit more Norse as armor now instead of just space armor.
Yeah.
It looks kind of cool.
All I saw was Tony Stark with long hair. I said,
that looks
no.
weird.
Objectively, no.
Yeah. I don't think any Iron Man fan nowadays wants to go back to the time where Tony Stark was sporting an 80s mullet and a business suit. No one wants to see that anymore.
I think I want to see it once and then burn that image from the earth.
Well, you're going to have to burn a lot of comic books. A lot of fucking comic books. But Iron Man's armor looked like it was MCU standard up until the helmet. Then from the helmet, or for the helmet, they just thought, let's go for a really, really old style comic book look. And they went way back to Iron Man Power Wars from the 80s.
Right.
And thought, let's give him that helmet. And then going from Iron Man to Captain America's design. Captain America's design looked weird. Really, really weird to me. It looked like he was wearing American football shoulder pads.
Right.
Oh no, would it be American football shoulder pads? It looked like he was wearing some kind of
armor.
Whereas Captain America's suits have always been just kind of these weird kind of tactical suits.
Yeah.
This one just looked like he had
It's a Kevlar bodysuit.
Kevlar bodysuit with skating shoulder pads.
Ooh.
It didn't look nice to me. And I always hated the helmet on Captain America. Never liked it. Everyone in
the MCU?
Yeah, the MCU. Always hated it.
Yeah.
It looked stupid.
I thought it looked like a weird kind of interpretation of like an old school biker helmet.
Yeah.
Like a 50s biker helmet.
Yeah. I mean, it fits the character in the comic books because it's drawn in a certain way where it doesn't look like it could move. It looks like it is tight onto the head.
Yeah.
Whereas when Chris Evans is wearing it in the MCU, it looks like at any point if he gets caught on anything, the whole thing just turns around and he can't see. Like he's just got a wing where the A should be, and he's like, guys, where the fuck is it? He gets hit in the head with his shield.
Yeah.
But they just look kind of off. But ultimately, I think they've got the voice cast to sell it. It's a fucking huge voice cast.
Yeah.
Like Laura Bailey is Black Widow, Nolan North is Iron Man, Troy Baker is Bruce Banner. I don't know who the fuck plays Captain America, but he plays him well. Plays him really fucking well. It has that kind of commanding voice that I think Captain America should have, which Chris Evans doesn't. And Travis Willingham, who's been voicing Thor and everything that Chris Hemsworth isn't doing as Thor since I think maybe 2009, maybe even 2008. He's been doing it for a while. So I think ultimately you're not going to see them for a long time. You're going to maybe see the back of their heads, and they're going to be moving that quickly in the game that you're never really going to see it. I mean, if you're playing the game as Iron Man, you're never going to see Tony Stark's face. You're going to see Iron Man's faceplate.
But at the same time, when you're watching cinematics, you're like, oh man, that
looks strange.
Really weird. I don't know why he did that.
It's not enough to make me not play the game because the game looks really cool. But ultimately, I'm not looking forward to Square Enix's version of the Avengers. I'm more looking forward to Marvel Ultimate Alliance because that game looks... They've just steered into it. They're not trying to do a realistic looking Avengers. They're just thinking, why don't we ramp up the comic book aspect and make it look like their comic book characters playable in a game. So ultimately, still going to pick it up, but they could do a lot better with the character models, and I think we might see an upgrade facial animation wise before the game comes out. Along the lines of what they did with Injustice 2. People were complaining about how Wonder Woman looked, people were complaining about how Supergirl looked. Then they came out with the fucking stellar facial animations of Injustice 2 and the same engine that they used in Mortal Kombat 11, and everybody looked fucking insane. It's ridiculous how good they look in that game. So I'm hoping they kind of do that. But we can only wait and see.
Until then, let's wrap up with Nintendo.
Yep, I think this is my
more
wheel
like
life.
Nintendo don't. Yeah.
Sega does what Nintendo don't. I think Nintendo, you're pretty much, you can just knock off for this, but you're not really a Nintendo fan.
Like 50-50 on just getting up to go get a drink for 5 minutes.
Oh, dude, if you're going to have to go get a drink, I'll take one. Actually, do you want to take a quick break?
Yeah, let's pause the podcast.
Yeah.
And we're back with fully hydrated throats this time. So, the last thing on the list was Nintendo. And more like Nintendo don't. I get the second pass on the joke, okay? Fuck you.
Okay. It's not a good joke, but anyway, you get GG's in the chat for trying. But as usual for me, probably not so much you, but Nintendo always knock it out of the park every year because they announce games that people want. They announce games that people are fucking looking forward to and games that people don't expect. Along the same lines as Microsoft kind of tried to do this year. They announced a lot of games. Very few of them were games that people wanted.
Right.
Which was disappointing, but ultimately I still think Microsoft had a much stronger conference, even improving from last year, when last year's Microsoft conference was insane.
Well, last year's was a riot. I was running around in circles in the room like, what are they doing? What the fuck is... And then
Devil May Cry 5, fucking Kingdom Hearts 3, Crackdown, which turned out to be a pile of shit.
Yeah, the Crackdown 3 was the biggest letdown, I think, at that conference for Microsoft.
It would have sold more if they called it Terry Crews's Crackdown 3.
Yeah.
But it didn't. But Nintendo, they always like to come out with the little hook to get you into the conference, and that was usually some kind of Smash Bros thing, and they made no changes this year. The starting lineup was new Smash Bros character, and they came out with the hero / main character from the Dragon Quest series. Yeah. And they showed off in the trailer 4 different versions of the hero, as they call him. I think they showed off the original Dragon Quest 1 character, whose name in game was Erdrick.
Right.
Who kind of looks a bit like Goku. Except,
But
imagine
then it's the Akira Toriyama drawing, so everything kind of looks a bit like Goku.
everything kind of looks a bit like Goku.
Even the plants.
A little bit, yeah.
Think about
They've
it.
all got different spikes.
Think about it.
Yeah, but imagine if they put a headband on Goku and just made his hair go straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he takes that headband off, it just falls out in a Goku shape.
Yeah.
And they announced the main character that they did announce with, I think, is the character from Dragon Quest 8. No, Dragon Quest 11.
So when you say there's the different versions, I'm guessing it's just like a character skin.
It's just a character skin. There's
Okay.
not. It's not like an Echo character. It'll be. There's kind of like what they did with Bowser Jr. There was all the different Koopa kids from the different games. So it was just one character but different skins. And like what they did with the main character from Pikmin, Olimar. He had Alf, who was the second, who was the co-op character from Pikmin 2.
The different Pikmans.
Yeah, different Pikmins.
Pikmans.
Joseph Pikmins. Did you fall in an accident that wasn't your fault? Joseph Pikmins. I won't do anything, but you can call me anyway.
That's good. I like that. Did you have an accident? Just tell me about it.
I'm here for you, buddy.
Just do you have an accident? I could use a chuckle. Go ahead.
That's the next t-shirt after Gibberpish. We're a government organisation. And Alfred teaching Batman how to spell. We have many t-shirt ideas. If anyone can make t-shirts on the cheap that we can sell out cheaper, get in touch. But they had the main character from Dragon Quest 11, the main character from, I want to say, of the first Dragon Quest, and the other two heroes, I think they might have just been from Dragon Quest 9 and maybe Dragon Quest 10. I'm not 100% sure. I've only played 3 Dragon Quest games. One of them was Dragon Quest Builders, which was fucking horrendous. It's Minecraft, but with the Dragon Quest characters in it.
Sounds awesome.
Probably, if you like that kind of shit, but it does not interest me one iota. But they all looked just enough like other characters that it's going to feel familiar to people. There was a lot of Link stuff that they had with Sword and Shield, and there was a lot of counter stances and stuff like other Fire Emblem characters. But there was the magic that they had.
Right.
There was a couple moves where they threw out a fireball, but there was another one where they turned to steel and couldn't take any damage, but they couldn't move. And there was one that they just had a reflector wrapped around them.
Okay.
The weirdest one though was as a move called Kamikaze, where you have a gravity effect that pulls all the other enemies in.
I feel like these people don't know how kamikazes work.
Yeah.
It's almost the exact opposite.
Yeah, but it's a funny move because you start charging this kamikaze, you start drawing the other enemies in, and then you just explode.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. Of both the characters that they announced, I think people were happy that we got a Dragon Quest character in the game, but ultimately, compared to the other character, they didn't really care. They were just, oh cool, more characters. Show us what we were expecting with the final character. And then after the Dragon Quest hero, they went on and announced.
Well, are you doing this in order? Because I thought it would be good to talk about the fact it was Banjo and Kazooie.
Yeah, I'm just kind of jumping around. I was just trying to think immediately after that, I think they just launched straight into here's how we'll play. But then after the hero from Dragon Quest, we got Banjo and Kazooie from Banjo-Kazooie.
Which, if I can take a brief moment to say, if you're writing an article about this for your fucking game development blog or whatever the fuck, can you please state that Banjo and Kazooie are one character? Because I've read about 3 or 4 things, and it took me to the 4th article to figure out that Banjo and Kazooie were, in fact, one character.
Yeah.
And I did this not from your articles, but from the video of them playing as a single character.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be fairly strange to play as Banjo by himself and Kazooie by himself, because Kazooie's a tiny little bird.
See, Banjo as himself, he's a bear.
Yeah,
probably going to be okay in a fight.
He's going to throw the fuck down, but Kazooie's a woodpecker.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's got the big long beak. Yeah, Kazooie's just a woodpecker that fires eggs.
I mean, it's called a range attack.
Yeah, but not from the orifice that you'd think. He shoots them out his mouth.
Piccolo style. I think
some kind of Piccolo Yoshi style.
I mean, if it works, it works.
Yeah, I mean, don't mess with the formula.
Do you want to win or do you want to win? Yeah. Right? You gonna complain? Or you gonna vomit some eggs? All right.
You're gonna fire eggs at people. As you can expect, putting a legacy character like Banjo and Kazooie into this game made a lot of people happy. Very, 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 very positive response to this.
Yeah.
And a lot of people posting very positive reaction videos online of people just losing their shit over Banjo-Kazooie being in the game, because it's a character that people have been wanting in the game since Super Smash Bros. Melee.
And the trailer for it is very funny.
Oh, the trailer's pretty fucking great.
The trailer's pretty good because Donkey
it's
and
another
Diddy
fake
Kong.
out trailer.
And then who's the crocodile?
King K. Rool. He's from Donkey Kong 64.
They are for
Another
some
Rareware game.
They are for some reason sharing a room. Don't ask questions.
Yeah, don't question it.
And then they see a shadow, and then the fake out is that it's actually the
Duck
dog
Hunt.
and the bird from Duck Hunt. And I was like, that was funny. And then all of a sudden, Banjo and Kazooie appear. Oh, that was pretty well played. It's very well done. And then it just shows you gameplay footage of them actually fighting together and some kind of slightly pre-cut cinematics.
Yeah, there's some
Apparently he's beefing with Bulbasaur. That's some shit.
Ivysaur.
Is it?
I don't blame you for this. I get confused with them as well. There's
I didn't see the vines. I didn't see the vines. That's why I say Bulbasaur.
Apparently the difference is from Bulbasaur, it's just the bulb. You
Right.
don't. With Ivysaur, there's leaves, and you see the red flower.
Okay,
Then Venusaur is just fucking huge.
Yeah, Venusaur like escalates things dramatically.
Yeah, but I do not blame you for that mistake. I make it fucking constantly.
Yeah.
Even when I play that character in Smash as well.
All right.
I was just like, I'll go from Squirtle to Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur's not in the game, it's Ivysaur. But I still, my favourite thing to do in Smash Ultimate right now is go online and play just Squirtle.
Yeah.
And try and beat Ganondorfs and Bowsers and shit. Actually, fairly successfully, because he's that quick, I can just get in and damage them.
Yeah.
And I've got that many ranged water attacks, I can just, get in, deal some damage, and fuck off. He has this ability, his neutral B attack, he charges up water gun and just fires that out. It doesn't deal any damage, but it pushes them off the stage.
Pretty useful in a game where you're pushing you off the
Fucking
ledge. It's like
hilarious.
half the battle, yeah.
Fucking hilarious, because people are charging at you and just like, and you're off the stage. It's pretty fun.
No.
Yeah. And the cool thing about Banjo-Kazooie is that there's so many little nods to the other game, or to Banjo's game itself,
Mm-hmm.
that I think fans are going to be really happy. His final smash is he summons a big fucking robot from the game and just charges at the enemy, and there's like a big multi-slash animation that shows up.
Yeah.
I think it's going to make a lot of people happy. And the stage itself, Spiral Mountain, looks like it's ripped straight from a high-def remake of Banjo-Kazooie that I think people are really going to dig. So I think out of the two characters that are announced for Smash Ultimate are going to make people very, very fucking happy. And I think a lot of people are going to dig the characters. And I think it might buy them a bit more leeway for the last two characters. I don't think the last two characters are going to be big fucking heavy hitters.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be characters that people are going to appreciate. Yeah. But they've announced Banjo.
But it does.
They've already got the goodwill.
It gives them the time and money and resources to allocate to the creation of Waluigi in Smash Brothers. Yeah. We're gonna get it, boys. We just have to keep pushing for that Waluigi.
To be fair, I felt the cold sweats and I felt the heart attack coming on. I was genuinely terrified that instead of showing the hero from Dragon Quest and Banjo and Kazooie, I thought they were going to show Minecraft Steve. Because I've heard rumours.
I've heard about that for a while.
And I've heard apparent data mining from Smash Ultimate.
Yeah.
Smash Ultimate's game files that apparently he's coming. And I am fucking terrified. I'm like Thanos. Dread from it, run from it. Fate catches up eventually.
Steve catches up eventually.
I see the emerald, the green pickaxe just stab me in the shoulder and
it's
drag me.
actually diamond. You can't make a pickaxe with emerald, Dom. I don't know if you
green.
know this. Why is it green?
That's
That's
the one I've seen
interesting.
the green pickaxe. I thought it was always made of emerald or some shit.
No.
I don't fucking care.
You can't make an emerald pickaxe. If they make an emerald
See
pickaxe,
if you got
Steve,
Minecraft later on, try to make an emerald pickaxe, I expect.
I will send you screenshots of me not making an emerald pickaxe.
Show me, make a video. That'll be the first video we post on the Gibberpish. Just title it, "See Dom, you were wrong."
Suck a dick.
Phone Joseph Pickman.
Right.
I'm gonna make a character in any game called Joseph Pickman. He's just gonna be, come on, buddy, give me a hug. I know you've lost a leg and an arm, but come on, I'm here for you. What else did Nintendo show that was worth
they
talking about?
had Luigi's Mansion 3 with Guigi.
Guigi, yeah, that is their co-op mechanic.
He's green.
Looks pretty
Can
fucking cool.
confirm.
Yep, he is.
Guigi green.
Bright green, neon green.
Yeah.
That game looks pretty fucking cool. Been a huge fan of the Luigi's Mansion games since the first one. And the first game was literally put out there to show the capabilities of the GameCube with the dust particles and all the moving objects and stuff, and the frame rate and stuff like that. And it turned out to be a really fun game. Luigi's Mansion Dark of the Moon or whatever it was for the 3DS was trash, because instead of doing one big mansion that you had to explore and find the keys for, they deviated from that and just made it a side scroller that you just went from one place, fought the boss, grabbed the crystal, next mansion. So you technically went through 5 mansions, but it was just side-scrolling crap that it wasn't good.
It seems like, in a weird way, it's kind of weird considering that Luigi is a Mario character. Mario starts as a side-scroller with 5 worlds, it seems like they tried to make a Mario game out of Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
Which
did not work.
It's like you flip it one way. It's like when you take a phrase in English, flip it to Chinese, flip it to French, flip it to like back to English again, and it makes no sense whatsoever.
It's a totally different phrase, yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck did you people do here?
Yeah, it was not a great game. So seeing that they've went back to the whole Resident Evil style Luigi's Mansion game is fucking great.
I was just about to say, when you look at the Luigi's Mansion stuff, it does kind of feel like they tried to make a Mario Resident Evil game.
Yeah, and it worked because it was funny. Because the funniest part of it is Luigi is audibly shitting himself throughout the whole thing.
Yeah,
you hear the rattle of the torch, and he's going Mario. He's like walking about shitting himself.
Yeah, his voice shakes when he's like Mario, please.
At one point, he's tapping on walls, just going whoa, like rattling walls and stuff.
Yeah. It's that this is the game that definitely gives Luigi character.
Yeah, and it's really really good. It's the interactions that he has with Professor Egad, who gives you all your gadgets and stuff, pretty fucking funny because he's always out to scare the living piss out of Luigi, just because he's an old dude that lives in a fucking spiderweb ridden mansion. He wants to get.
I'll know the shit out of this kid.
I'm going to give him a powerful vacuum cleaner that can destroy ghosts, but I'm going to fuck around with him at the same time.
Yeah.
So,
also, how funny is it that someone's like, "How are we going to defeat these ghosts?" Vacuum cleaner.
Give him a Hoover.
It feels like
with a plunger.
It feels like a direct kind of reference to Ghostbusters for some reason.
Yeah, and most of Luigi's Mansion is just remember Ghostbusters. Luigi's going to do that.
This time it's with Luigi.
Yeah, Gooigi is just the ultimate evolution of Slimer from Ghostbusters.
I'm guessing Luigi is just till I couch co-op.
Yeah, just all co-op.
Okay, that's cool.
Which is pretty cool. But in the game, you have to use both of them. There'll be certain points where you need to combine attacks with Gooigi, but you can control both characters at the same time.
Okay.
So there's the co-op elements. They're not really, you know how in most games there's the co-op and there's the main storyline.
Yeah.
They don't really differentiate from that. This time, co-op and the main story are just built in. There's no separate menu. You can just jump into the main game and play multiplayer. I
just imagine the idea that there would be you'd get to a platforming section, you have to boost Luigi up, but Luigi would try to stand on Gooigi and just sink into him.
Do the Yoshi thing and jump off his head and leave him to die.
Yeah. I for some reason that immediately was the only there's multiplayer for this game. Oh my god, we're gonna step on Gooigi and sink into him like a foot.
Or Gooigi becomes some kind of Samus style power armor and you're just walking around in a giant mech made of Gooigi. You form a Voltron of Gooigis.
Oh my god, what's the armor you're wearing? It's so impenetrable. It's a goo version of myself. Wait, what?
For the proof that I am the strongest Mario brother, just twists Mario's head off. I am the strongest.
I have the goo.
He drop kicks Mario. Find yourself, you prick.
The other thing I saw on there was very interesting to see how you feel about this one. Resi 5 and 6 how getting kind of legacy editions coming to Switch.
I predicted that last year. I predicted as soon as I seen that Resident Evil 4, 5 and 6 were getting re-released on fucking everything.
Yeah.
I said, how long is it going to be before they come out on Switch?
Yeah.
Then I seen Resident Evil 0, 1 and 4 come out on Switch. I said to my brother, guarantee E3 they're going to show off gameplay of 5 and 6. It's a good move. I mean, fucking everything's coming out on Switch. Just going on from the 5 and 6 reveal, we have Alien Isolation.
Yep, that was on there as well.
We have fucking all these.
You have the Spyro Reignited trilogy, which, as far as a game you would kind of want to just play on the Switch.
Yeah,
I can't think of anything better.
It makes a lot of sense considering Crash Bandicoot, which is traditionally a PlayStation title.
Yeah.
Putting it on the Switch is a good idea. It's basically a kids platform game. It's not really a kids platform game because some levels in Crash Bandicoot are fucking solid.
I actually watched a streamer, Twisted Bar Gaming. Love that guy. He does a lot of streams. He's trying really hard. He's grinding. He's hustling away. But I was on his Twitch stream for a while, and he's in his chat hanging out and chatting with a lovely group of people that he's got there. And we were watching him play through some of Crash, Crash's trilogy. I can't remember what it's called again. But they're remastered.
The Insane trilogy.
Yeah, the Insane remastered trilogy or whatever. Some of those levels were genuinely stumping him, and he was like, "Well, I never played this as a kid." And I'm like, "Oh, if you've never played this as a kid, none of this makes sense."
Yeah, I mean, I never played any Crash Bandicoot. The first time I played Crash Bandicoot, I was in high school.
But I mean, he got to Dingo Dial, the one with the flamethrower.
All right, yeah.
And I was in the chat no, wait for this to happen, then run in between the gems, and then do this, and I was giving him hints in the chat, and I was like, if you've never played this game before, this game is a fucking fever dream.
Oh yeah. Especially if the first time you play Spyro the Dragon and you don't realise that all your money goes towards a greedy. What the hell was Moneybags? What breed was he?
I think he's just a bear.
He's just a bear.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. All your money goes towards him to get through gates and stuff.
Yeah.
He's just some kind of weird ethereal fucking gatekeeper that steals all your gems.
There's a number of the games that end with him being like told to just give back all the money that he stole. I think it was my brother or like his fiance was playing like with the remaster for that, and was just battering their way through the game, and then they get to the end, and they were just like, so Moneybags is just going to give you back the money, and it's like a room full of dragons. You're like, did they intimidate? Did they like force him to give back the money, like at like dragon tooth point? I was going to say at knife point, but at dragon tooth point.
Just breathing slightly too heavily on him. It's like,
hey,
if I breathe maybe a bit too hot, I'm just going to burn it.
Hey, how'd you like to give back the money?
Singed eyebrows.
Yeah. And you just feel like, I'm going to give back the money now.
I will give the smaller dragon all the money now.
Yeah, it's when I think of games that belong on the Switch, as like not say it's like a casual console, but it is a bit more casual than an Xbox or PC or something like that. I'd say like Crash is right up there, and to give it to a new generation of kids, it's going to be amazing. Like I want to see more people playing that game.
I'm quite glad that you said that games that you would associate with the Switch. I'm quite glad that you said that, because that leads me perfectly into my next point: is why the hell is The Witcher and Alien Isolation coming to Switch? Alien Isolation, fine, because you can get a portable aspect to a really, really good horror game. But The Witcher, right, the thing that people love about The Witcher is that it is a powerhouse. You play that on a PC and ramp up the settings, game looks fucking tasty.
Yeah.
The Switch, specifically portably, is not really a powerhouse console. If you're playing it portably, 540p is your maximum. Playing it docked, 720p. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, and I don't really think there's much of a call for people or Witcher players to play it on the Switch.
Who was screaming for that?
Yeah, same with the people who wanted Skyrim on Switch. Was there really much of a call for it? I get that
Skyrim's a bit more like, just because we're comparing it to The Witcher, like Skyrim's a bit more casual. It could be a bit more fun on a more like handheld console. I think the idea is not so much for the when it's docked. That kind of like, you can't really say, really looking forward to playing The Witcher when it's docked.
I think any measure of a good Switch game is how many hours you're going to put into it on the way to work or on the way home from work. If you've got lunch, like an hour for lunch or something, you just want to sit and play some Witcher.
Like you're saying, I can't figure why you put Skyrim there. Can you not really picture yourself just kind of sitting on a train with Skyrim, just kind of for sure that like on a train? I
don't like Skyrim.
Okay, bad example, but I mean like it's way more casual than say The Witcher. Like when you say like somebody was really crying for The Witcher to come out on the Switch, like why, and who? Yeah,
to be fair, the battery power on the Switch I think might work against having The Witcher on Switch, because fully charged I think the Switch could last 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
When you get into the meat and veg of The Witcher, you're wasting more than 8 hours on that. You get sucked into that game. You start believing you're the fucking Witcher.
Yeah. Just real quick, you were talking about the resolution. What is the actual resolution of the screen on a Switch when it's portable?
When it's portable, I think the max it can go to is 540p. That's how The Witcher's looking. I don't know if it's better. I know there are some games that
I'd like to hope it'd be 720.
There are some games that run 720p.
Right.
But I think with a game like The Witcher, it runs 540 because there's so much to load.
It'd be 1080, but like
1080 docked, I think, for most games. But I think with a game like The Witcher, because there's so much to load, and the maps are so big, I've had to maybe downscale it.
So brutally hacked down.
Yeah, and that's why I think there wasn't much of a call for it, and I don't think Witcher on the Switch is going to sell all that well.
It doesn't fit.
No, that's my main selling point. Whereas Alien Isolation, that's been said to be 720 undocked or 720 portable, 1080 docked, which I think is good, because you're going to want a 1080 experience on the Switch.
Yeah,
which is obviously the graphics are maybe going to be downgraded slightly, but you're still going to be getting 1080.
Mm-hmm. And that's more of an experience. It's something you go through for the experience and the feeling of it. Whereas with The Witcher, as much as you're playing for the story, you're playing it for good gameplay.
Yeah.
And I don't see what the Switch brings that other consoles haven't. It's a weird one.
I don't get it, but
there was a No More Heroes.
No More Heroes 3. I was very, very fucking happy at that.
How long has it been? Like, the first one came out in the Wii, and it was the big deal was it's a good Wii game.
It's a good Wii game with blood spray and a foul-mouthed protagonist, and it was a game that actually used the motion controls in a non-gimmicky way, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
It wasn't you're constantly swinging the sword, it was just you're hitting the A button, then to do special heavy attacks you would slash left or slash right.
Yeah. So it
wasn't
had its
too
place.
heavy-handed like that.
Yeah, but it had a good place to make it like not quite a cornerstone of the Wii's launch, but it was definitely up there. Like when you talk to people who still really remember and enjoy the Wii, No More Heroes is always up there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That was one of the, it didn't come at launch, but it was one of the titles that if anyone asked me what's your favourite games on Wii, I would say No More Heroes is definitely top 5.
Yeah,
because it was such a different game compared to what you had in the Switch. Because you had your Marios, you had your Metroids, you had your Zeldas, then you had No More Heroes, and it was such a contrast between traditional Wii titles and this, which was a Nintendo-made game.
Yeah,
which it's weird to say that Nintendo has such a foul-mouthed character on the roster, and this was before Bayonetta with their weird, whips and chains and shit.
Yeah, it was when you compare it to especially the stuff that came out at the time. You remember Red Steel?
Oh, Red Steel was fucking awful.
But that was a tech demo for what a Wii could do.
Yeah, but I never really got immersed in that game because you would control your character movement with a nunchuck and your Wii remote would be your gun or sword.
Yeah.
And if you're aiming at a certain angle on the Wii, the character's wrist would look like it was breaking in an unnatural way, to the point where it looked like the index finger was touching the elbow or could touch the elbow at some point.
Jesus.
It looked weird and it always took me right out of the game. Red Steel 2 fixed that.
Okay.
But I never really played that.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of gameplay footage online, but I never really played it all that much.
Yeah.
Because there was Red Steel 1 I was done with. Multiplayer was fun, but ultimately I didn't play much Red Steel. You can pick it up for 50 pence.
Yeah.
If you really want to play it.
If you're like desperate for the classics.
Yeah. If you're like, fuck, I want to get that I want to get that Wii launch experience again.
For some reason.
Give me £4.
Just punch your TV. Honestly.
Yeah.
Just save yourself the cash, punch your TV.
Just get something that get your TV remote. Attach it to a flimsy wrist strap and just Thor that shit. Act like you're going to take off and just.
And now you can enjoy the more modern, updated experience where you yell yeet before you do it.
Yeah,
it's funnier therefore.
Yeah.
So the speaking of like trying to capture that classic feeling, the big reveal that I saw from the list was Breath of the Wild 2.
Breath of the Wild. They actually announced a couple of Zelda titles, and it was strange that one of them was Breath of the Wild 2. I get that Breath of the Wild was fucking ridiculously popular.
Yeah.
To the point where people were genuinely petitioning Nintendo to make Breath of the Wild on other consoles. Like people wanted it on PC.
Yeah.
Like, give us it on PC, and Nintendo just went, no.
I'm sorry, this is a us thing. Not
Did you see
thing.
how long it took us to get this on the Switch?
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild was in development hell because they tried to do too much, but luckily they found the right team to do it. But Breath of the Wild seems to me it was such a one and done type story. I just think, how can you do it? Because you've killed Ganondorf, and the whole point of the whole trick to Ganondorf this time is he is so sick and tired of this whole cycle of, he rises to power, he is ultimately killed, he is given up on reincarnation, he's accepted his ultimate true demonic form, and he just wants to fucking rule over Hyrule until the sun fucking burns out.
Yeah.
But then obviously he gets risen up and beaten down eventually. But his whole reason behind this, or his whole reason for being in this game, is just, I'm fucking done with all this shit. I will rule Hyrule one way or another. But obviously he gets stopped. But
because that cycle repeats again.
And then,
which must make him so mad. Like you finally say, I'm done with it, I'm breaking these chains, and then you realise, oh, the chains are still there.
Yeah, the chains are still there. The chains are tighter than they were before. And I think what they're going for in Breath of the Wild 2 is that you killed Ganondorf this time, but his body is still somewhere in Hyrule.
Right.
His body is still somewhere buried deep beneath Hyrule Castle. And I think that's where Link and Zelda come in. They think, right, we want to stop this. We're happy with Hyrule being the way it is. We need to destroy that once and for all. And probably what they'll do is maybe they've felt rumblings from beneath Hyrule Castle, or maybe the monsters are coming back stronger, and they'll probably build something off that. Either way, I'm fucking in for another Breath of the Wild. I played that game twice.
Yeah.
I played it on the Wii U, 100%ed it. Played it on the Switch, 100%ed it, with the fucking DLC.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild, it's still not my favourite Zelda game, though. I will say that off the bat.
Yeah. But it's good.
It's fucking great.
Highest reviewed game, I think, of all time.
Yeah. And it looks spectacular. The open world setting, and even the combat that people didn't like not so much the combat. People love the fucking combat.
I think people didn't like the degradation.
Yeah, degradation of the swords. People did not take kindly to that. I did, because it presented another challenge to the game.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking, right, I've got this really good sword, but do I want to use that now, or do I want to save it for when I come across a boss or another enemy? I'm going to use this crappy tree branch. I'm going to kill as many people as I can. And it also introduced the idea of doing weapon-specific runs. Because there was a few people that I seen online that did, I'm going to use only wood weapons, I'm going to use only axes, I'm going to use only sledgehammers.
Welcome to the world of Dark Souls, where you would play the entire game with the tree branch just to show you could.
Yeah, or using the woodman's axe. One of the very first weapons you get was an axe, a very, very low-powered axe. And it did well at the start of the game, but as you get closer and closer to the end of the game, it essentially deals chip damage. We're talking at 1 hit point.
Oh.
And on some of the end game bosses, they've got pretty fucking up there in health. And somehow they managed to do it. But then again, the person I'm talking about that does these kind of Dark Souls runs has somehow broke the code of the game to just bend it to his will.
Yeah.
Ridiculously good at the game. But all in all, I'm really excited for Breath of the Wild 2, but it's going to be a while before we get it. I think we'll probably get it towards the end of the current Switch cycle, because they're going to announce a Switch 2. It makes sense for them to do a Switch 2. But this time they do a Switch 2 that does 4K. I guarantee it. And it's going to be they'll probably keep it portable, but it'll probably be a bigger machine or something like that. I'm interested to see how they go with it. But the other Zelda game that announced was Link's Awakening remake. That a lot of people are saying, fucking great, we're getting another Zelda game this year before Breath of the Wild 2. But a lot of people, including myself to an extent, aren't happy about the art style that they've taken. It looks like little toys and stuff.
I did see some screenshots. I was like, this looks a lot more like, not quite like the Wind Waker style.
Yeah, it looks a lot more cartoony. Yeah, chibi style. Yeah, that's probably a good way to put it. Ultimately, I'm still going to pick it up because I was never a fan of the Wind Waker art style, but I still played Wind Waker and it's a fucking phenomenal game. I played Spirit Tracks, Phantom Hourglass, and even my favourite Zelda game of all time, Minish Cap, are all done in the Toon Link style. So it has grown on me. I'm never going to let art direction, unless it's really, really bad, like Marvel Infinite, stop me playing a game. Yeah. Because Marvel Infinite made Chun-Li look like a heroin addict until the fans quite rightly said to the people who Marvel outsourced the game to, or the people who Capcom outsourced the game to, they've raged at them so much, and then they went, right, okay, fine, we'll change Chun-Li. Everyone else is staying the same though. Tony Stark's still going to look like ass. Thor's going to look like a techno Viking with roids. Everyone really horrible. But it kind of cements the fact that I'm not really willing to let art style stop me from playing a game. Yeah. And with a game like Link's Awakening, which was fucking revolutionary on the Game Boy Color, and then the re-release on Game Boy Advance and on Virtual Console, which it's such a good game that I think people are going to play it in the same way I am. They're just going to disregard the art style and continue to play it. And it's kind of in the same vein of what they did with Metroid 2 Samus Returns. They gave us Metroid Samus Returns on the 3DS, and it was one of the best Zelda games of all time. I think that's probably what they're kind of going for with Link's Awakening. And I think, it's pretty fucking good. We've got a lot to look forward to in terms of Nintendo in the future. We've got Marvel Ultimate Alliance, which comes out next month, which is another Diablo-style hack and slash dungeon crawler, but with Marvel characters, that looks better than Square Enix's attempt. I'm not fucking sorry about that. It just looks better. And there's a lot of other games coming out in the Switch. Panzer Dragoon, which for me, as someone who grew up playing the Sega Saturn, I am fucking ecstatic about that reveal. Yeah. Purely because Panzer Dragoon is such a weird niche game that I now get to say to other people, you can play it. It's the first game remade in HD, 4K, whatever it is on the Switch. Fucking play it. It's just a dragon shooting things with beams. You're flying through stages. It's an on-rail shooter type shoot 'em up thing where you just have to lock onto things and fire dragon beams at them. Yeah, it's fucking great.
My theory going into this E3 was that with Nintendo launching their like smaller and larger versions of the Switch,
the Switch Pro and the Switch Junior, I've heard them called.
Yeah, when I saw those, I was like, okay, you now need to convince more people to buy consoles, or convince the people who already bought the console to buy another. Yeah. So I felt like Nintendo would have a huge push, and kind of right, that they would be bringing out these kind of classic titles to just kind of entice people and say, look, there's a reason to still buy a Switch, because apparently they keep like projecting big numbers and then just
and to be fair,
a little bit short.
They've fallen just a little bit short, but I think the major feather in Nintendo's cap this year was the fact that in Japan the Switch outsold the PS4 by quite a big margin.
Damn.
Which is no easy feat
Yeah.
for any company to unseat Sony in Japan. That's a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about the sheer the power differential
Yeah,
of like a 4K PS4 Pro or whatever, or air quotes 4K,
yeah,
whatever, no cares. Versus a Switch, which you say can be at best 720p,
yeah,
1080p if it's docked in and feeling like playing nice.
yeah. If it's a game that's not too power hungry,
It's a pretty impressive accomplishment, and that's why I was kind of expecting them to say. Every year I expect people to keep saying Nintendo wins E3. I'm like, dude, did you see Xbox?
Microsoft was good, but ultimately I got what I wanted from Nintendo and then some.
Yeah,
because they showed off more Fire Emblem: The Three Houses, which I know you have absolutely zero interest in RPGs or Fire Emblem, so I'm not really going to talk about it. All that I will say is that I'm really looking forward to it, and it comes out next month. So the fact that we got more about that, and we got more about how the academy is going to work into the game, because you basically play a professor at a kind of academy, and you're instructing the house leaders that are basically going to kickstart a war in about 10 years time.
Alright.
So you can basically just influence them, and you're the one kind of uniting force that's trying to stop this big war between the three main houses.
Right.
So really looking forward to that, and I kind of like those type of games where you're the neutral party, just trying to stop war, because it was the same in Fire Emblem Fates. You were a Hoshiden prince that was kidnapped by the Norian Empire, and then the whole choice is: do you go your own path, do you go with your birth family, or do you go with your adopted family? And I kind of like being that neutral party and trying to carve my own way through the game. So I think there's going to be more of that in Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Yeah.
So it was cool to see more of that, and we spoke about Luigi's Mansion. So I think that ultimately Nintendo, I would say Nintendo air quotes won, but to me, no one really won E3 this year, purely because of one reason, that this year was kind of a transitionary period for E3, whereas last year we had fucking big heavy hitters that people were saying this is coming out, that's coming out. Everybody had games to come out except fucking Sony. You sucked at E3 last year. Everyone had big fucking titles to come out. This year people are holding back.
Yeah.
People are holding back for next year.
Because next year is the next console generation.
PS5, Project Scarlet, maybe a Switch 4K or something like that. Yeah. And it's not a bad thing that they've done that. It's probably good that they're keeping the main big heavy hitters back for next year, or they're working harder for next year. But it kind of leaves everybody a bit high and dry for this year, because there's not really there's a lot to look forward to. But I still think
we all felt that this was just a little bit of a step
reserved
down. Like it's there's stuff out there that's great, like Game Pass. I think for the Xbox will transfer over to the next generation. It's the best idea Microsoft have had in decades.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt.
So I'd say that we will see something of that transition forward, but I think this is the last E3 of a console generation, and it kind of shows.
Yeah, I think next year for E3, I don't think we're going to see the big conferences having we're not going to see Sony having a big conference. I don't think we're going to see Microsoft having a big conference. I think same with Nintendo. I think because Nintendo haven't really been at E3 with a
physical presence,
with a physical conference in about 4, maybe 5 years, maybe longer. I think that's going to be the same thing that Microsoft and Sony are start doing. They're not going to have these big conferences. They're going to prepare sizzle reels of all their big titles, and they're just going to keep working on other things. They're going to have a presence at E3 with stalls and
they'll be on the floor, but they won't have a conference, because I think Nintendo really led the way with the directs, where if you notice it, there's a lot less time on stage talking. Yeah, because those moments come across a lot of the time as weird and cringy.
And cheesy.
You have a game developer who spent like 50 hours that week cranking out a game footage for E3,
and now has to come out and talk to a crowd of very, very expectant people. Yeah, it's just, or we could just cut down maybe a 2-hour conference to a tight 50 minutes and show it on screen. I think it just makes it easier, and it gets the point across a lot quicker. And
E3 now, with the advent of live streaming, is becoming much more about the audience at home watching through Twitch, Amazon, whatever.
That was a good thing that I did notice about this year's E3. They addressed and noticed, or they made a point to mention, acknowledged. Thank you. God, I cannot fucking speak tonight. Words I'm not good with. They acknowledged that a home audience is just thank you. They always opened with hello to the people in the Microsoft Theatre and the thousands of billions of people watching at home. One thing I noticed though, and this is just, I'm pretty much done with talking about E3 in general. Yeah. But I watched through Twitch this year,
Anything I watch through Twitch. Amazon, you sneaky fuckers. I love how creepy you got this year.
Okay.
Because as things were being mentioned, as games were being announced, Amazon would pop up as an option, because Amazon owns Twitch. They would pop up the option and say, hey, would you like to pre-order your copy? In the middle of the stream.
I was watching through YouTube, so I wasn't watching on Twitch.
Yeah, but there's something about the fact that like E3 conferences collaborated with Amazon to give them the heads up, this is coming.
Pre-order your copy today,
and we'll give you here's the we'll push the button on our end, and you just make the thing pop up on Twitch streams so that people can pre-order when you're at the most hyped. If you want to talk about some evil Machiavellian scheme about gaming, god damn, there's one right there.
I could imagine that would have worked to me. I'm quite glad that I didn't watch it on Twitch now, because I would have immediately ordered Doom Eternal. I would have immediately pre-ordered fucking anything that Nintendo ordered.
I don't know if
Gears
it happened
5.
for all of them, but it happened for the Xbox stream.
Yeah, I can imagine Amazon have got a pretty extensive list of pre-orders and stuff ready.
Yeah,
but I'm kind of choosing to go with Amazon more over their native stores, because I don't pre-order anything through Nintendo Store now, because they take the money immediately,
right.
which is weird and it annoys me, because I get they're going to take the money eventually, but I don't like the fact that they take it before dispatch, because I could be waiting way in excess of the actual delivery date, but they've already taken the money.
Yeah, there's no option for you to cancel.
Yeah, there is an option to cancel, but you have to send it away for a form now, because they deliver through a company called the Hut Group, and I ordered a Batman 80th anniversary kind of print, and it was the print itself was only about 20 quid or something like that, and I thought, you know what, it's a big print, I don't have the space for this, I'm going to cancel it. I mean, there's not enough space in my room, I'm going to cancel it. And I went to cancel it and it wouldn't let me. It kept popping up, there are no cancelable objects in your order. I'm like, bullshit, I don't want this art printing anymore. You've already taken the money, not fucking happy. And it said, if you wish to cancel this order, please email this address within 14 days of your purchase, and they will send you a form which you have to complete within the 14 days, otherwise your cancellation will not be processed. I just thought, fuck that. I emailed them and said, look, I'm not interested in the art print anymore, can I change it for fucking something else? And they went, oh sure, we can amend your order, what would you like? And I went, oh, there was a cool Death of Jason Todd jumper that I'll buy. And I was like, sure, I'll take that. I mean, at least I can get the use out of a jumper.
Yeah.
So I now have this really rather morbid looking Batman jumper with Batman holding Jason Todd's bloody body. I was like, I'm not going to wear this. And the fact that it's made for a skinnier dude.
It's for that emo Batman fan who's like,
no,
it's
for the XL gentleman that is really very body positive,
right?
Very, very skin tight. This is an XL, but it doesn't feel like an XL. It's a skinny XL or a large.
Yeah. So that was our E3 coverage, I guess.
Oh, we didn't talk about the internet's latest darling, the Japanese woman that announced Ghostwire Tokyo for Bethesda.
I didn't really pay attention to that.
Oh, people on the internet lost their shit over her because she's so adorable. I'm like, yeah, she's
the waifu of the week. Trust me.
And she's the waifu of the week.
These things fade.
I don't think they will, because she's still being spoken about online.
I don't think she got the staying power.
Nah.
We shall see. Time will tell. We'll update you on the next episode of the Gibberpish podcast. If you want to reach out to us on Twitter, you can do that at Gibberpish, or you can contact the show at gibberpishpodcast@gmail.com.
.org. Government organisation.
Government organisation. So yeah, until then, I've been Colin Graham.
I've been Joseph Pickman.
And we've been talking Gibberpish.
Call me if you're in trouble. I'll be there. Don't tell me about your pain, but I'll just be there for you. I'll listen. I'm going to change the Twitter name to Joseph Pickman.